Chapter 141. Chapter 141. GUU Qingshu vs. Bai Ningbing Part 2. Under the power of the rank 3 GU worm, Qingshu's eyes turned into a jade green color. At this moment, his aura changed. From a vibrant human, it turned into a deep serene forest feeling. Oh, Bai Ningbing showed slight shock unknowingly. He pouted in dissatisfaction. It seems that after a long time, you've gained some interesting new skills. Icicle GU. He willed the GU, and 5 sharp icicles appeared out of nowhere. Go! Bai Ningbing's ice hand pointed, and the icicle shot out. Pow pow pow! From Qingshu's palms, 2 vines grew out. The vines danced in the air like 2 snakes, dancing agilely, easily deflecting the icicles. The icicle changed directions, only scraping Qingshu's shoulder, and stabbed deeply into the ground, the hard mountain rock, and the forest that stood like a statue. Qingshu easily broke through the attack, causing Bai Ningbing's attack to be futile. Bai Ningbing laughed coldly. Your whipping skills got better, but I want to see, how many icicles can you block? Saying so, Bai Ningbing's eyes shone with a mild blue light. 10 icicles appeared immediately, floating in front of him before shooting towards Qingshu. After that, 10 more were created. Like this, over several times, it turned into an icicle rain. Swoosh! The icicle tore through the air, emitting a sound that shocked people's hearts. Qingshu dodged while manipulating his green vine with both hands, dancing like a shadow. His whipping technique after countless practices, had gotten to a level where he could command them like his fingers, fully in sync. But there was too many icicles, Qingshu was bound to miss some, and his shoulder was hit by an icicle. The icicle penetrated his right shoulder, and the tip appeared from behind him. Pin needle GU. Qingshu controlled the pain, sweeping his long hair. From the tips of his hair, numerous jade-colored pin needles shot out. The pin needles engulfed Bai Ningbing, but he managed to activate the water shield GU in time. It had gotten stronger too, and was much thicker than before, being no weaker than a rank 3 GU worm's defense. The pin needles entered the water shield and slowed to a halt, before being purged by the water currents. But this also forced Bai Ningbing to stop his icicle attack. Seeing this opportunity, Qingshu ignored the pain and pulled out the icicle from his shoulder by force. There was no blood dripping out, one was due to the icicle's cold air, and the other was because his body was gradually turning into wood. Bai Ningbing kept the water shield GU, his gaze attracted to GUU Qingshu's injury. From the opening on his torn shirt, he could see Qingshu's injury, revealing the rings of the tree trunk, and his flesh could be seen recovering at an observable speed, and on the newly grown muscles the tree's ring lines were formed. At the same time, both his ears started to become longer, and his hair turned jade green, with green leaves growing within. Both his hands, from the fleshy color of a normal person, turned darker and more reserved. His skin became harder, and turned into the brown tree bark. This was the first time he had used the wood charm GU without considering the consequences. The wood charm GU was causing him to turn into a tree spirit, and at the same time, GUU Qingshu could feel the rich natural essence in the air. These essence could not be felt by ordinary GU masters. Only special lifeforms like tree spirits could feel, absorb and use them. GUU Qingshu felt that he was soaking in his mother's liquid, thick essence enveloping him, giving him a strong sense of fulfillment. On his body, the Moonworld GU did not change, but the Green Vine GU, Pin Needle GU and the Vitality Grass all showed signs of growth. With Qingshu's identity as a tree spirit, when he uses these wood attribute GU worms, their power is amplified. GUU Qingshu breathed deeply, he had never felt so strong before. The rich natural essence gave him an almost infinite source of primeval essence to use. This was the power of the wood charm GU. But in his heart, a deep sense of fear also rose. He knew that if he was greedy over this strong and comfortable feeling, and used the wood charm GU without restraint, he would eventually turn into a dead treeman. Anything had its price. GUU Qingshu soon suppressed this fear. He stared at Bai Ningbing and said 2 words, let's fight. Thus, the intense battle started. Green Vine versus Ice Blade, Icicle versus Pin Needles. One was the Northern Dark Ice Soul physique, with insane primeval essence recovery rate, and the other was the Wood Charm Tree Spirit, using all the natural essence as his own. This battle had far surpassed the realm of ordinary rank 3 GU masters. Feng Zheng stood on the slope, watching dumbstruck. He had never seen such an all-out intense fight. Normally speaking, GU masters have limited primeval essence, and they always have to keep 10% of it as reserves. Carefully using them, like thin ice. But now, be it Qingshu or Bai Ningbing, both were using it without constraints as if they had an unlimited supply of primeval essence. The entire path was wrecked by their battle. Huge trees fell and were destroyed, mountain rocks smashed to bits. After a long time, Blue Bird Ice Coffin Gu. Bai Ningbing grabbed an opportunity and opened his mouth, and from within, an ice blue bird flew out. The flying bird chirped, its body like a pigeon, but under the boost of the northern dark ice soul physique, it gradually turned into the size of an eagle while flying, and after circling for a while, flew towards Gu Qingshu. Gu Qingshu could not dodge in time, so he faced it head-on. Bam! A sound explosion later, Gu Qingshu was frozen in an ice crystal as large as a room. It's over, Bai Ningbing sighed as he had not fully enjoyed himself. He saw the immobile Gu Qingshu within the ice crystal, and muttered, "Thanks for providing me such an interesting experience, this battle is the most exciting one I've had thus far. Qingshu, your death has meaning, I will remember it clearly." Lord Qingshu, on the slope, Fang Zheng shouted loudly. "Why are you shouting, you mere ant, the next one will be you." Bai Ningbing snorted, walking towards Fang Zheng. At this point, the sound of the ice crystal breaking entered his ears. How can this be? He turned around and saw that within the ice crystal, Qingshu had undergone a massive transformation. His body became bigger, and his rank 2 GU master outfit was almost ripped. His hair turned into green vines, and palm-sized leaves grew on it endlessly, turning into a thick greenery. His fingers had turned into sturdy wood, his limbs turning into thick tree branches, only having a rough form for his arms and legs. With a sound, the ice crystal broke completely. Gu Qingshu stood up. He had already changed in appearance completely, the original delicate and handsome human face turned into a sharp-nosed, huge-eyed tree spirit face. He was 3 meters tall with a strong body, wearing tree barks as his armor, and on them were large amounts of leaves and vines. Bai Ningbing stared at his transformation in shock. Compared to this Qingshu, he was like a child beside an adult. This appearance, did you refine the wood charm Gu? This Gu is way harder to refine than my frost demon Gu. Bai Ningbing found the answer. Tree spirit wood charm can use the essence in the air, no wonder Gu Qingshu had such ample primeval essence. He realized at once, but got more confused. He asked the question in his heart, "Qingshu, using the wood charm Gu like this, aren't you afraid of turning into a dead treeman? So what if you win me? You're destined to die." Bai Ningbing, Gu Qingshu's voice became low, "I understand you like I understand myself. You and I are both orphans, adopted by the clan leader. Yet we walk on such different paths. A tree dying in a forest is nothing, for as long as the forest exists, numerous trees will continue to grow and rise up. Let's have our final battle, my nemesis." Saying so, hundreds of green vines assaulted Bai Ningbing like giant pythons. For the clan, what a fool, Bai Ningbing retreated in a rush. But the green vines' speed was faster than before by several times, quickly chasing up to Bai Ningbing. Bai Ningbing controlled his body and dodged nimbly. Green vines thick as an arm swept near his body, hitting the soil or the mountain rocks, causing the soil to fly and the rock fragments to scatter. Water shield Gu. Bai Ningbing could not dodge in time, and created his shield. Qingshu had seen through the weakness of this Gu worm. He did not attack forcefully, but manipulated the vines to wrap around the shield. Next, he pulled back his strength, and the water shield came into contact. The surface water current moved quickly as it hit the green vines, causing water to splash everywhere. The water shield could not endure the strength of the green vines, restriction, and shrunk in size, on the verge of collapsing. Not good. If the water shield breaks and I get entangled in the green vines, I will get killed by Gu Qingshu. Bai Ningbing in the water shield was sure of his situation. In the next moment, the water shield exploded. Bam! An ice blade storm exploded from within, becoming larger and larger. Bai Ningbing purposely withdrew the water shield Gu's defense. Since defending couldn't work, he had to fight offense with offense. At once, the temperature fell and cold air emanated. The white ice blade storm flew towards Qingshu. The vines could not stop this tornado, and were cut into numerous segments by the ice blades. Nice timing. Gu Qingshu had no fear, his large body bravely entering the ice blade storm. With a bam, he knocked onto the white-color tornado. He opened both hands, wrapping around it. Crack crack. The sharp ice blades cut through his body, and numerous leaves and tree bark were sent flying. The delayed sense of pain assaulted him as Qingshu growled in pain, but did not let go, using all his strength to grip the tornado. The ice blade storm was actually shrinking under his strength. Damn it. This maniac that doesn't care for his life, Bai Ningbing scolded internally. In this situation there was no other way, he could only create more ice blades and rotate faster, competing with Jiu Qingshu. The ice blades slashed on Qingshu's body and gradually became blunt, but under the ice blade goo's power, they sharpened once again. The battle was at a stalemate, out of their control, and no one could hold back and stop. Either Jiu Qingshu kills Bai Ningbing, or Bai Ningbing kills Qingshu. Pitting offense with offense, the battle was filled with bravery and intensity. Chapter 142. Chapter 142, Jiu Qingshu vs Bai Ningbing Part 3. Fang Zheng stood far away, not even daring to take a deep breath as he watched. The battle had reached the climax, the winner and loser will be decided in this showdown. Lord Qingshu, hang in there. Fang Zheng was so nervous his body was shaking, he knew that going over would only cause trouble, thus he could only cheer for Jiu Qingshu loudly. As if he heard Fang Zheng's voice, the ice blade storm got smaller, forcefully suppressed by Qingshu. Damn it, I can actually get into a situation where my primeval essence is insufficient. Bai Ningbing gritted his teeth, rotating slower as his primeval essence recovery could not keep up with his expenditure, getting into a helpless situation. The Northern Dark Ice Soul Physique's primeval essence recovery is very fast, but the recovery speed at rank 3 is still slightly inferior to the tree spirit's ability to extract natural essence. If Bai Ningbing could cultivate to rank 4, his recovery speed would greatly surpass the wood charm Jiu. Except, in life and death battles, there is no if. Whether it's win or lose, the results have to be accepted. Eventually the ice blade storm stopped, but Jiu Qingshu also paid a heavy price. His arms were large like a horse carriage, and at the moment on his left arm he had 2 fingers left and 3 on his right. Both his palms were sliced off by half due to the ice blades. But when his palms gradually gathered together towards the middle, new tree branches grew again rapidly from his palm, interweaving together. The 2 palms formed a wooden cage, trapping Bai Ningbing within. Damn it, Bai Ningbing gritted his teeth. His primeval essence was running dry, he could only be at Qingshu's mercy. We won. Far away, Fang Zheng jumped at this sight. Am I going to die? Bai Ningbing shouted in his heart, his eyes widening as he saw the 2 palms approaching. When both palms clasped together, he would be smashed into a bloody meat pie. But the palm's speed became slower, and slowly stood in midair. Bai Ningbing was stunned momentarily, before realizing that Jiu Qingshu's body had developed problems, instantly being overjoyed. Damn, I was so close. At this moment, Jiu Qingshu's heart was filled with helplessness. His hands had lost all senses, completely turning into wood. At the same time, he gradually lost the connection to his intestines and lungs. The wood charm goo's ability had corroded his entire body, bringing him to the brink of death. No, it cannot end like this. I can still use the green vine Jiu. Jiu Qingshu forced himself to focus and activated the green vine Jiu. Numerous thick vines appeared and attacked Bai Ningbing through the openings of the cage. Bai Ningbing dodged quickly, but he had undergone several battles, and his stamina was greatly depleted. Furthermore, there was little space in the cage, and he could not move much, thus eventually a vine entangled onto his right leg and tripped him. It's over. Qingshu sighed in relief, as he quickly moved tens of green vines to follow up. At his moment of life and death, Bai Ningbing's aperture finally recovered enough primeval essence for his usage requirement. He used all the primeval essence without further thoughts, sending it all into the ice blade Jiu, and formed a new ice blade. The ice blade was sharp and cut off the green vine on his right leg. Bai Ningbing rolled in a sorry state, managing to avoid tens of vines. The green vines hit the ground and penetrated the thick earth. The soil flew around, and the green vines attacked once again. Bai Ningbing breathed heavily as he used the ice blade to defend desperately. The green vines attacked from all directions, as if he was walking on thin ice. A single mistake by Bai Ningbing would cause him to be instantly killed by the vines. But he was after all a top-tier genius. With the stimulation of death, he squeezed out all the potential in him, and his evasive actions became quick and clear. Although he was tripped sometimes by the green vines, he managed to avoid the danger and eventually kept his life. The green vines were cut by the ice blades, and their amount became less and less. It was not that Qingshu did not want to activate the green vine Jiu and produce more vines, but it was because the surrounding natural essence had been almost fully absorbed by him. Although outside, there was still essence in the air gathering, the diluted essence in the air was no longer able to fulfill the green vine goo's needs. There was an even worse piece of news. The wood charm gu's strength had completely corroded Gu Qingshu's body, and was starting to take over his consciousness. Gu Qingshu's consciousness started to become dazed, and he had intermediate blankouts. The aura of death was blowing on his face. Is it going to end? No, he was indignant, forcing his mind to focus and put in the last-ditch effort in killing Bai Ningbing. He could no longer see anything, for the wood charm Gu had taken over his eyes, and he could not hear any longer either, his ears merely an accessory now. He only had a meager sense of touch. Relying on Bai Ningbing's retaliation, he judged the distance and position, and attacked. His efforts were rewarded, as Bai Ningbing was finally captured. A vine wrapped around his neck and raised him up, gradually tightening. Bai Ningbing could feel difficulty in breathing, it was no use even if he opened his mouth. Along with Qingshu, they was progressing towards death. Fang Yuan breathed roughly, an intense battle had ended. On the floor laid 5 corpses with opened eyes, they were all Bai clan Gu masters. Relying on the stealth scales Gu to sneak attack, with the advantage of the moonglow Gu and the strength of 2 boars along with his 500 years of experience, he displayed shocking abilities. Although he told Qingshu he was going to return to the village, it was just an excuse. After leaving for a distance, he used the stealth scales Gu to hide himself, moving around the battlefield and going to the area where Manshi and Shangli died. He collected the Gu worms in Manshi and his groupmates' corpses, and when he got the Shangli's corpse, he found that the corpse was missing, not to mention their Gu worms. It seems that Shanglin collected their corpses. What a waste, I wanted to get Shangli's brown bear innate strength Gu. Fang Yuan sighed. Leaving Shanglin alive was not what he wanted. But back then, after he had killed Shangzhong, Shanglin was already vigilant, thus killing the latter would expend much effort. At that time, Bai Ningbing was close by. If Fang Yuan and Shanglin fought, Bai Ningbing would be overjoyed. But the brown bear innate strength Gu might not be on Shangli's body. He already has the strength of a bear, he might have given the Gu back to his clan already. Fang Yuan focused his gaze and escaped the mountain path battlefield. Qingshu and the others fighting against Bai Ningbing would cause a huge commotion, and it will be detected by the surrounding wolf packs and Gu masters. Although Fang Yuan was not optimistic about Qingshu's group, he had seen firsthand the power of the wood charm Gu in his previous life. Against Bai Ningbing, there would at least be an intense struggle. He was unwilling to give up such a chance, thus he chose to wait at the surroundings. At times, Gu masters were attracted by the sounds of the intense battle, so Fang Yuan lured some wolf packs over and restrained them. Those that he cannot stop, Fang Yuan would strike with his own hands. The mountain path battlefield's noise has come to a halt, it seems they are deciding the victor already. His right ear had roots growing out, digging into the mountain walls, allowing Fang Yuan to hear some things from the battlefield. Honestly speaking, Qingshu's performance was better than expected. After Bai Ningbing lost his right arm, the effect on his battle strength was much greater than Fang Yuan had expected. But soon, Fang Yuan's expression changed. He heard large amounts of footsteps from 2 directions, heading towards the battlefield. One direction was from Gu village, while the other direction was from the Bai clan village. Each group had at least 20 people. It was not something a bold lightning wolf pack could block, and Fang Yuan could not lure 2 groups of wolf over anyway. It seems the news about this battle has been found out by someone, so these are the reinforcements sent by the 2 clans, I have to enter the mountain path immediately. Fang Yuan's distance was shorter, thus being the first to enter the mountain path. The battlefield scenario was not out of his expectations. From the cage's opening, he could see Bai Ningbing hanging by the vines on his last breath, but was still barely alive. The ice muscle's defense are stubbornly sustaining Bai Ningbing's life. HMPH, unfortunately, you have encountered me. Fang Yuan's killing intent surged as he took a few steps forwards, sprinting towards Bai Ningbing. Swish swish swish. Suddenly, a flurry of pin needles surrounded Fang Yuan like rain droplets. It was Gu Qingshu's pin needle Gu, attacking Fang Yuan. What is going on? Fang Yuan retreated immediately, avoiding the pin needle rain. He focused the gaze at the large tree, realizing at once, it seems that Gu Qingshu's consciousness had been blurred to the point where he can no longer differentiate between friend or foe. He's merely relying on his will and attempting to kill Bai Ningbing. Anyone that intrudes the battlefield would be regarded as an interferer by him. At this moment, Bai clan Gu masters appeared from the mountain path. Seeing such an intense battlefield, their faces showed a shocked expression. The lad over there, don't make any unnecessary movements. A rank 3 Gu master shouted towards Fang Yuan, his tone full of warning and threat. This Bai Ningbing is such a cockroach. Fang Yuan, seeing this scene, laughed coldly in his heart, knowing that he could not have the last strike. Firstly, Qing Shu's consciousness was blurred, a green vine was insufficient to kill Bai Ningbing, who had the ice muscles. For Fang Yuan to get close to Bai Ningbing, he had to break through Qing Shu's trap, but this way, it would divert much of his attention and might even help Bai Ningbing in escaping his predicament. Even if they broke through by force, Bai Clan's rank 3 GU masters and rank 2 elites were not for show, they would definitely stop him. Furthermore, fighting against Bai Ningbing had danger as well. Bai Ningbing's aperture had recovered primeval essence sufficiently to at least use the Blue Bird Ice Coffin GU. Even if Fang Yuan managed to kill Bai Ningbing, these Bai Clan elites would not let go of him, they would definitely kill Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan sighed in his heart, the distance is too long, there are at least 20 steps to get to him, and my Moonglow Gu's attack range is only 10 steps. Furthermore, to kill this Bai Ningbing, who is destined to die anyway, I would need to put my life at such risk, greatly interfering with my rebirth plans, it is not worth it. Thinking so, Fang Yuan took a few steps back. This was evidently a weak and cowardly movement, causing the Bai Clan GU masters to breathe a sigh of relief. Chapter 143. Chapter 143, Answer. Soon after, Fang Zheng rushed over as well. Lord Qing Shu, he had an exhilarated expression, stupidly running towards Gu Qing Shu, but soon was forced to retreat by the pin needles. Group leader, it's me Fang Zheng. He shouted in shock, sensing something amiss for the first time. But how could Gu Qing Shu answer him? Big brother, what's wrong with Lord Qing Shu? Fang Zheng, under confusion and shock, could only turn to Fang Yuan. But Fang Yuan ignored him, squatting down and grabbing with his right hand, making a claw shape towards Bai Ningbing. Plunder GU, he secretly activated this GU, quickly sensing that he had grabbed something. He quickly pulled back, and a GU worm flew out of Bai Ningbing's body. It was a red steel relic GU. This was given to Bai Ningbing by the Bai clan leader, but Bai Ningbing never used it as he quickly reached rank 3 cultivation. Now, it became Fang Yuan's loot. Seeing the red steel relic GU coming out of Bai Ningbing's body and flying away, landing in Fang Yuan's palm, the Bai clan GU masters were anxious until their eyes turned red, starting to scream. Scumbag, if you don't want to die, stop right now. Stealing our Bai clan GU worm right in front of us. It's a red steel relic GU worm. Fang Yuan laughed coldly. Once the red steel relic GU was obtained, he used the spring autumn cicada to instantly refine it, but did not keep it in his aperture, putting it in his clothes instead, giving the impression that he had not refined them yet. He grabbed once again, this time a gray-colored beetle flew out. Stone aperture GU, Fang Yuan recognized this GU immediately. As his eyes shone, he refined it once again and kept it in his arms. Damn it, yet another GU worm. Stop him, he dares to do so openly, he does not hold any regard for our Bai clan. Save Bai Ningbing, kill these guys. The Bai clan GU masters growled, running furiously from the mountain path. Bai Ningbing had the full support of his clan, so every GU worm in his possession was outstanding. Now that they were snatched away by Fang Yuan in public, they all could feel their hearts bleeding. This felt worse than killing them. Seeing these people approaching with their imposing aura, Fang Zheng took a step back in fright, but Fang Yuan was unfazed. In the current scene, he and Fang Zheng were at the east side of the mountain path while the Bai clan GU masters were at the west, and in the middle of the two sides were Gu Qing Shu and Bai Ningbing. Whoosh whoosh, pin needles rained like cats and dogs. Damn it, Bai clan GU masters started scolding, as they were blocked by Gu Qing Shu. Gu Qing Shu is going to die anytime, the remaining time only allows me to use the plunder GU once, what would it be this time? Fang Yuan calmed down, using the plunder GU again. Every time the plunder GU was used, it expended a large amount of primeval essence. It depended on how strong the target GU worm was. The harder the process, the more primeval essence is expended. If the plunder fails, the GU master would even face a backlash. Thus, the plunder GU was a rather unreliable GU, with little usage. But at this moment, Bai Ningbing was almost dead, his consciousness was hazy and he was almost at his limits. Plundering his GU worm was not hard at all. Among the GU worms in Bai Ningbing's possession, the most valuable is the Frost Demon GU. This GU was on par with the Wood Charm GU, allowing a person to transform into the Frost Demon. But if used for extended periods, it would cause the GU master's life force to dwindle, turning into an ice statue. Bai Ningbing knew this weakness, thus he had never been like Jiu Qingshu, using the Jiu to such an extent. Other than the Frost Demon Jiu, the second most valuable is the Blue Bird Ice Coffin Jiu, a rank 3 Jiu. Right now, it resides in Bai Ningbing's throat. If he can plunder the Blue Bird Ice Coffin Jiu, it is the best scenario. But the plunder Jiu is only a rank 2 Jiu, even if the Jiu master wills it, it does not have the ability to do so. Eventually, Fang Yuan caught Bai Ningbing's Water Shield Jiu. This was not bad at all. The Water Shield Jiu together with the White Jade Jiu could provide Fang Yuan greater defensive power. The tree spirit that Jiu Qingshu turned into was eventually felled by the Bai clan Jiu masters. They split open the wooden cage and saved the Bai Ningbing who had fainted after losing his right arm. Just as they were about to slaughter Fang Yuan and Fang Zheng, the Jiu clan reinforcements arrived. The two were at a stalemate for a while, before both retreated in mutual understanding. Qingshu's death and Bai Ningbing's injury, with the threat of the wolf tide, such a loss is already horrifying. If a large-scale fighting broke out, for each clan their pressure for survival would intensify greatly. Regardless of which world, people always compete for their own benefits. And the greatest benefit in the world is undoubtedly survival. Eventually, Jiu Qingshu's corpse and Jiu worms were brought back by the Jiu clan's Jiu masters. The two sides held caution as they retreated from the battlefield. The sky was raining, and the entire area was gloomy. A group of people stood at a slope behind the village. This was the graveyard. Every now and then, there would be a few more gravestones erected here. In this world, it was tough for people to survive, and whether it is due to external threat or internal cause, there would always be a few sacrifices. The clan elder's voice was low as it entered everyone's ears, making them feel even more down. We have the same surname, we come from the same clan, the same blood flows in our bodies. We are so close together in distance, yet we are forever separated by life and death. This pain aches in my heart. Wait for me, someday in the future, I will lay beside you as well. Let us turn into ash and soil, as we support our future generations. On a newly erected gravestone, a group of people hung their heads low. Some were crying softly, and some were staring at the name on the tombstone as they were filled with sadness. The cruelty of death was like a white bony arm, slashing a bloody injury on everyone's heart. Except that some were already numb from the pain, while others were still too inexperienced. Jiu Fang Zheng was among these people, his drooping eyes staring at the tombstone with, Jiu Qingshu, these 4 words. Dead. In his eyes, there was endless uncertainty. Yesterday's battle, the entire process and situation was still imprinted deep in his heart. His experience was limited, he did not understand Jiu Qingshu's moving and tragic bravery as well as his sacrifice. But now that the truth was in front of him, he could not accept it suddenly. Dead, that kind Lord Qingshu that always smiles, advises, shows concern and takes care of me, is actually dead. Why did this happen? Why is it that in this world, good people die easily, while bad people live long? Is this a dream? Am I having a dream right now? Fang Zheng clenched his fists, and the realistic feeling of touch caused him to feel ever more upset. The discussions of the surrounding Jiu masters entered his ears. Sigh, I can't believe that this time, even Lord Qingshu sacrificed himself. Humans will eventually die, but it is too much of a pity. I heard that Bai Ningbing still had a breath of vitality left, he was eventually saved. May he rest well underground, and bless us with the hopes of surviving this wolf tide. The crowd slowly dispersed, until Fang Zheng was the last one left. The young man's lonely shadow, facing the graveyard full of tombstones alone. Lord Qingshu, he suddenly kneeled on the ground, his tears falling on the ground. He was lost, he was regretful, he was in pain. Drip, drip drop, drip drop. Bean-sized raindrops fell from the dark clouds, hitting on the ground, causing the leaves and tree branches to bend. The smell of the earth rushed into Fang Zheng's nostrils, and he wept in painful grief. The sound of his crying and the raindrops mixed together, his 10 fingers grabbed the soil, trying to retrieve Qingshu's life, but eventually he only had 2 handfuls of soil. It started raining, and Bai Ningbing lay upon a soft bed, staring at this rain blankly. His right arm which was broken was already taken care of, wrapped with a white bandage. His eyes also returned to black, but his cultivation was rank 3, he had no longer suppressed it to rank 2. When he woke up from his slumber, he suddenly lost all spirits, feeling extremely empty. He laid on his bed peacefully, his eyes opened for over 10 hours. He let the rank 3 white-silver primeval essence nurture his aperture, he couldn't bother to care about it. This rain triggered the deepest memories in his heart. It was under such a summer rain that he was officially adopted by the Bai clan leader. The clan leader's benevolent and hopeful gaze fell on him, as the surrounding clan elders gave their words of congratulations, gushing in like tidal waves. The young him stood on the icy ground barefooted, and he stared at the rain outside the window, but all he felt was being lost and lonely. What is the meaning of living? This question troubled him for 20 over years, and could continue to trouble him, until the problem of his self-explosion surfaced again. Is it for kinship, for the clan? Bai Ningbing unavoidably thought of Gu Qingshu. From young to adulthood, he had seen such a sacrifice many times, sometimes it as a Bai clansman, sometimes they were from Gu clan or Shang clan. He could not understand these fanatics, he was born as a cold and emotionless person. Gu Qingshu could not give him answers, thus Bai Ningbing thought of Fang Yuan. The first time he saw Fang Yuan was sitting by a tree, eating a wild fruit he picked, emotionlessly starting at the battle below. He was excited until his body shuddered, shivering with excitement. The reason was that he saw himself from Fang Yuan's similar eerie abyss-like iris. But now that he thought about it, Fang Yuan's gaze had something more than him. That thing is the answer to his questions. The rain got heavier and thunder rumbled while lightning flashed in the sky. What is the meaning behind living? In the dark room, Gu Fang Zheng asked the same question. Gu clan leader, Gu Bo sighed. He stared pitifully at the young man who had lost his soul, and then looked outside the window, at the rain. Fang Zheng's doubt was understandable. An unavoidable death always urges people to think behind the true value of existence. You know something? More than 10 years ago, there was another young man with a similar situation as you, and asked me the same question. Long after, Gu Bo started to speak. That person is your clan leader's my adopted son, Gu Qingshu. Fang Zheng was momentarily stunned, raising his head. A pair of swollen red eyes, showing an intense urge for answers. Chapter 144. Chapter 144. Sacrifice is common, and faith is undying. I said to him, a person has 1,001 reasons to live. Why are you alive? I cannot answer that, only you have the answer. Go find it yourself, Gu Bo said. Then clan leader, what is your answer for yourself? Fang Zheng blinked in confusion, asking. Gu Bo laughed. In his eyes, Fang Zheng and Qingshu's images were overlapping. Gu Qingshu had asked the same question in the past. Clan leader thought for a moment, recalling the past, then repeating the same answer he gave back then. An organization is bound to have sacrifices. From the moment a person is born, death is imminent. Between life and death, humans are fragile, but one thing can warm the heart, and shine upon our souls. That is love. This is my answer. Sacrifice is common. Gu Qingshu is he, Gu Bo's adopted son, and after raising him for so many years, his current sacrifice brought great pain to this foster father. But as clan leader, he had seen far too many sacrifices. When one has the resolution of life and death, pain and grief becomes more acceptable. Fang Zheng lowered his head, keeping silent, it seems he was thinking. Clan leader laughed, taking a letter from the drawer in his desk. He handed it to Fang Zheng. This is Gu Qingshu's letter. It records the answers to questions he's been thinking about for years. I am handing it to you now, you can take a look. This is his answer. Undoubtedly, Fang Zheng's current heart had intense attraction to this letter. He opened it on the spot, and after seeing the first line, his tears could not help but flow out. It was Gu Qingshu's familiar handwriting, in his words there was his unique amicable aura. The starting paragraph recorded his perplexity and pain. Next was the situations that had given him some ideas through continuously thinking about them these past years. Fang Zheng looked at the letter, and felt like he had experienced Gu Qingshu's entire life. He followed Gu Qingshu's footsteps, until he finished the entire letter. At the end, this was recorded. The clan is like a forest, and we members are like the trees in the forest. The old trees extend their branches and shelter the young from rain and wind. When the young trees grow into large and tall trees, the old trees will turn into the nutrients in the soil, fertilizing the land and nurturing new trees. People will always die, and heaven and earth will not remember us. But new trees are the proof that the old trees have existed. Under this continuous testament, the clan forest becomes larger and spreads further, walking towards the path of prosperity and flourishment. People are bound to die. As Gu masters, we cannot hide from impending death. Even rank 7 and 8 GU masters can merely live a little longer. Towards death, I feel fear as well. But I understand deeply, eventually, one day IGUU Qingshu will die too. I might die of old age, illness, or the battlefield. But at that moment, I can leave peacefully with no regrets. At the end of the letter. Lord Foster Father, the question I asked you before, I think I have found the answer. After seeing the letter, Fang Zheng wept soundlessly. In his mind, it was filled with memories of Qingshu. When he committed a mistake, Qingshu did not blame but instead comforted him. When facing trouble, the gaze of encouragement was given, and when in a loss, the hands of Qingshu would warmly touch Fang Zheng's head. Gu Yubo kept the letter and said, "In future, when you think of the answer, you can also write a letter and tell me. Go, return and have a rest. The danger of the wolf tide is not over, we need you to contribute your strength as well." "No," Fang Zheng slowly raised his head, clenching his fists. "What?" Gu Yubo asked. "I've found my answer." Fang Zheng's tone was filled with indescribable determination as he continued, "I want strength. To protect my family, and protect them from any harm. I want to protect the clan, and strengthen the clan. I want the wolf tide to no longer be able to torture us, I want to see the happiness of joy of my companions. This pain, I do not want it to repeat. I want to use my pair of hands, my body, my soul, to protect those around me." Gu Yubo showed an expression of surprise, and at this moment, he felt that he saw Gu Qingshu. "Qingshu, you did not die in vain." Seeing Fang Zheng's shining eyes, clan leader sighed emotionally in his heart. An old tree has fallen, and just as it gradually decays away in the soil, a new sprout is already starting to grow rapidly. Ren Zhu was unable to endure the heart of loneliness, thus he dug out both eyes, turning them into a son and daughter. This alleviated his sense of loneliness. But good things do not last, for his children started to crave the scenery of the outside world, forgetting all about their father Ren Zhu and always going out to play until they forgot the time, and even forgot to take care of Ren Zhu. Ren Zhu could not see anything, it was total darkness. But at time, he could see a little bit of light. To this, he felt perturbed, and asked the Attitude Gu. Attitude Gu told this to him, "Oh, this is the eternal light given out by the Faith Gu." Faith. Bai Ningbing seeing this, laughed and threw the book that recorded the ancient legends out. The door was opened at this moment, and the person entering was almost hit in the face by the book. "Ningbing, what are you doing?" The one entering was the Bai clan leader. He frowned, consoling, "I know your mood is bad, but losing your right arm is nothing. In this world, there are many GU worms that can heal such an injury. In the past, I got the clan elders to stay by your side and protect you, but you always rejected it, and even attacked the clan elders. You finally suffered a loss this time, huh? But this is a good thing. Since young you've had too smooth of a path, but as long as it is not death, such a loss is no big deal. Your injuries are already healed, but the wolf tide is getting more ferocious, the clan needs your strength. A bunch of wolf cubs, what can they amount to?" Bai Ningbing shut his eyes, lying on the bed and answering nonchalantly. Clan leader's face showed a serious expression, "The situation is not looking good, or rather, it is pessimistic. According to our reconnaissance, there are already 3 frenzy lightning wolf packs moving near the village. Your failure brought a great influence to our clansmen. I hope that tonight, you can come out and show yourself. As long as you are standing, it can greatly motivate our clansmen. Do you understand?" I get it. It's a small matter," Bai Ningbing responded, showing impatience. If it was any other person acting like this to the clan leader, they would have gotten heavily punished, but Bai Ningbing was different. Bai clan leader sighed helplessly, closing the door and leaving. When the room had only Bai Ningbing left, he opened his eyes, showing a gaze full of loneliness and perplexity. He did not tell the others about the problem with his body, and the premonition of death that he was feeling. From the clan's ancient records, he found out the name of the Northern Dark Ice Soul Physique. In that limited information, the 10 extreme physiques were also known as the Absolute Death Talents, for when the aperture walls reach their limits, the self-destructive power would be extremely great. It is true that the Bai clan leader had raised Bai Ningbing for many years, being so lenient to him. However, if the matter of the Northern Dark Ice Soul Physique was exposed, Bai Ningbing had no doubt that the first person to kill him would be this Bai clan leader. What's the point of a person being alive? In the past, when he considered this question, Bai Ningbing would feel lost, feeling emotions like boredom, frustration and anger, all these negative emotions. But now, his heart felt a sense of peacefulness. People would grow up, not to mention a genius like him. In the past, he knew that he was going to die, thus in his despair he longed to live, and he felt a sense of fear towards death deep in his heart. But now, after he had almost died, he had gotten over it. Allowing the rank 3 white-silver primeval essence to nurture his aperture, he was no longer worried. After all, he was no longer afraid of death. Even though he was still lost about the meaning of living, he knew where the answer was. This answer was already in Fang Yuan's heart. This feeling was indescribable, it was like an instinct, but he was clear of it. Moreover, the stone aperture Ji was in Fang Yuan's hands. Fang Yuan, we will meet again, he lightly muttered, his eyes shining with a brilliant light, like the glimmer of a diamond. Stone aperture Ji, in the rented house, Fang Yuan held the Ji worm in his hands, falling into deep thought. Stone aperture Ji was like a dice, cubic and had a gray-white body, extremely sturdy. This Ji was an expenditure type Ji, gone after one use. Its use was to turn a Ji master's aperture wall into a sturdy rock wall. This act completely squeezes the aperture's potential and growth dry, allowing the Ji master to reach peak stage cultivation. For example, Fang Yuan was now a rank 2 middle stage, so after using the Ji, he can instantly become rank 2 peak stage. But the price is, Fang Yuan would no longer have the possibility to advance to rank 3. At the same time, he would lose the ability to regenerate primeval essence, thus he would only be able to use primeval stones to replenish them. The stone aperture Ji was for some Ji masters who were at their wits' end. For some Ji masters' aperture that suffered an unrecoverable injury, developing cracks and can't be healed, they would have to use this Ji. Or in special situations, the Ji master has no hopes of advancing and need to raise their cultivation quickly to live. Thus they will use this Ji. The cost of refining this stone aperture Ji is very high. Seeing that Bai Ningbing refined this Ji worm, he probably wants to convert his aperture into a stone aperture to prevent the imminent death. Unfortunately, this method can only delay his death, but cannot stop his destruction. If the northern dark ice soul physique is so easily broken, how can it be called a 10 extreme physique? This stone aperture Ji was useless to Fang Yuan, but the red steel relic Ji he got from Bai Ningbing's body as well as the water shield Ji were very useful. As for the Ji worms Fang Yuan extracted from Ji Man Shi and the others' bodies, they were not outstanding, and once he returned to the clan he had them exchanged for large amounts of merit points. Because of the wolf tide, the issue of Qing Shu and Bai Ningbing's battle was suppressed by all 3 clans, controlling their urges. The 3 clans needed each other's power to survive this ordeal first. Shang Lin's report exposed the fact that Fang Yuan possessed the white jade Ji. But he used the reason of buying it from the caravan to get through for the time being. Chapter 145. Chapter 145. Sacrifices are encouraged. As a person involved, Fang Yuan had to go through the clan's investigation. It was not an in-depth investigation, the ever-growing severity of the wolf tide had attracted almost all the attention of the clan's higher-ups. Fang Yuan's earth communication eargrass and stealth scales Ji were still concealed, but even if they were exposed, Fang Yuan could just attribute it to the caravan. In any case, communications had already been severed due to the wolf tide, the caravan won't be coming. Under such circumstances, the clan couldn't obtain the confirmation from the caravan and could only delay the investigation. When the results of any investigation truly came out, Fang Yuan would have already become a rank 3 and left Qingmao Mountain. Of course, if the 4 flavors liquor worm and spring-autumn cicada were exposed, it would be a completely different matter. Either of them could cause a huge commotion in the village if exposed. 4 flavors liquor worm represented a whole new fusion recipe and had extremely significant meaning. Fang Yuan wouldn't be able to explain it even if he pushed it onto the caravan, and would be thoroughly investigated by the clan. And spring-autumn cicada, if it was discovered, the wolf tide would be greatly sidelined. This is a rank 6 Ji after all. Even the clan head Ji Bo would immediately dispense with the civilities, the nonsense of kinship and the clan head position could all be given up. There was no doubt that it would be forcibly seized. July was month of a scorching hot summer, and the hot air was filled with the iron smell of blood. The wolf tide was growing more serious and fights were becoming more intense. Many had begun to realize that the wolf tide this time was of a rarely seen enormous scale among all of past history. Bold lightning wolf packs had fallen to a supporting role now. Thousand Beast King frenzy lightning wolf packs had started to roam nearby the village. Mankind's living space had shrunk down to an extreme level. Even Gu clan headquarters were as such, there was no need to mention the village at the foot of the mountain. 9 out of 10 houses were empty and a portion of fortunate villagers were living in the clan by utilizing all kinds of connections. But the majority of the villagers could only leave their homes and make an arduous journey to evade the wolf tide. Their destination was another mountain village. But the fierce beasts, wild Gu and the lightning wolves that filled the whole mountain reduced their hopes to an almost negligible amount. This was a hopeless journey. Gu clan could only give up on these mortals, they would all die before they even reached halfway to their destination. Either because of the fierce beasts or due to attacks from insects. No matter if it was mortals or Gu masters, they were all struggling between life and death. Even the elders who usually had a high position, had no choice but to don their armors and go to the battlefield. The Gu masters that had retired were enlisted again. When the wolf tide ends, those that managed to live on would definitely not surpass even 1/10. The cruelty of nature was displayed in all its glory at this moment. It was the survival of the fittest and in no way could it be avoided by speaking words of warmth. Fang Yuan sat cross-legged on the bed, his eyes were closed as he looked at his aperture. In his aperture, 44% of red steel sea waves were surging up and down. These primeval essence were all dark red. It was the rank 2 peak stage dark red primeval essence. Rank 2 primeval essence were collectively called red steel primeval essence. But it had 4 different small realms: initial stage, middle stage, upper stage and peak stage. There were also slight differences in the red steel primeval essence. Rank 2 initial stage primeval essence was light red, middle stage primeval essence was scarlet, upper stage was crimson and peak stage was dark red. Many days ago, Fang Yuan had advanced to upper stage. His crimson primeval essence went through 4 flavors liquor worm's refinement and along with the replenishment from primeval stones, it had completely changed to the current dark red primeval essence. Right now, the aperture wall was no longer a watery membrane with the flowing light, but it was instead a thick stone membrane formed by layers upon layers of piled up white light. White jade Gu and stealth scales Gu were in the depths of the red steel sea. 4 flavors liquor worm was playing around in the sea, but when the spring-autumn cicada slowly showed up, it immediately sunk towards the depths of the sea. Under the aura of the spring-autumn cicada, the surface of the whole primeval sea became as calm and smooth as a mirror without the slightest wave. Spring-autumn cicada's condition was getting better. Its 2 wings were completely recovered, appearing like a pair of tender leaves. Only its main body was still withered. Fang Yuan would check on spring-autumn cicada every so often. He could clearly sense the recovery speed of spring-autumn cicada increasing rapidly. The spring-autumn cicada was like a dying patient before, one who couldn't even open their mouths to eat and could only take in liquid food to preserve their life force. Now, this patient could get off the bed and eat much more food to nourish itself, the recovery speed would naturally become faster. Besides the spring-autumn cicada, there were 2 new members in Fang Yuan's aperture. They were both taken from Bai Ningbing. One was water shield Gu, which looked like a jellyfish as it floated in the sea. Another was red steel relic Gu. Fang Yuan's advancement to upper stage was because of the purified primeval essence by the 4 flavors liquor worm and continuous nourishment of the aperture wall, causing a qualitative change. Fang Yuan hadn't used the red steel relic Gu. Just based on cultivation level, Fang Yuan would already be the 3rd highest person among rank 2 Gu masters of Gu clan. Shang Li and Qing Shu were dead. Fang Yuan was in the top 5 even among the whole Qingmao mountain. As for Kai Shan and Mo Yan, they originally were at rank 2 upper stage but had advanced to peak stage not long ago. This could be said to have aroused the morale of the clansmen who were down after Qing Shu's sacrifice. Fang Yuan was progressing and others naturally were also progressing. Kai Shan and Mo Yan had been in upper stage for quite a bit of time and had continuously been pressured by the peak stage Qing Shu. The intense stimulation of death brought by the wolf tide caused Gu masters to have a deep thirst for power, squeezing out their potential and leading to cultivation advancement. But if we count fighting strength, I am the number 1 among the rank 2 Gu masters of the whole Qingmao mountain. Now, after I use this red steel relic Gu, my cultivation will rise to peak stage, and when combined with my deep experience, I can even battle rank 3 Gu masters to a certain degree, Fang Yuan calculated. His low profile and patience had brought him plentiful gains now. He could advance to this stage with just C-grade aptitude, the whole clan would be shocked if they knew this. Even the A-grade aptitude Fang Zheng was only at rank 2 middle stage. Naturally, even if he advanced to peak stage, Fang Yuan couldn't win against rank 3 Gu masters. Bai Ningbing was able to surpass levels and kill a rank 3 Gu master because of his northern dark ice soul physique. Gu Qing Shu also could do that because he had the wood charm Gu, a powerful and special rank 3 Gu worm. In actuality, Fang Yuan had a much stronger trump card than them, spring-autumn cicada. However, this rank 6 Gu was very special, and Fang Yuan forced himself to not use it. Spring-autumn cicada hadn't fully recovered, and if it was forcefully used, whether it could rebirth would be a huge question mark. The red steel relic GU was only effective to rank 2 GU masters, there was no value in keeping it. Fang Yuan was just about to use this GU when there came a knock on the door. Dong, dong, dong. Lord Fang Yuan, it is me, Gu Zhongya, a voice shouted after the knocking. Fang Yuan frowned. This Zhongya was getting more overbearing recently, he would repeatedly look for him to ask for vitality leaves. The number of deaths and crippled people were increasing, causing the price of the vitality leaves to become increasingly higher and even becoming a situation of high demand but no supply. How many times have I told you that I don't have more vitality leaves? Get lost. Fang Yuan coldly snorted. How could he give up his cultivation time for trifle primeval stones earnings? Outside the door, Zhongya had a flattering smile on. Lord Fang Yuan, please appease your anger. You are aware of the current situation, what choices do I have? Many GU masters know I sell vitality leaves and they all look for me. It is not easy for the little me to pass my days. How about this, I will pay 10% more. Lord Fang Yuan, please be kind and give me a dozen vitality leaves. After speaking, he started begging and his sound carried some sobbing. Fang Yuan was indifferent. That is your affair, what does it have to do with me? HMPH, your guts are getting bigger these days, you forgot the agreement between us and actually brought someone else. Ah, Zhongya gave a bitter smile outside the door. He looked at the old GU master beside him. He had no other way, this GU master was very powerful and had stubbornly followed him here. Little friend Fang Yuan, this old GU master spoke. I am Gu Yi, I believe you have heard of me. I came to purchase some vitality leaves and hope you, little friend, can show me some respect and give a little time to produce some. Give you respect? Hey, what reputation do you have? Fang Yuan sneered. This Gu Yi was somewhat famous, he was a retired GU master but had been brought back by the clan due to the wolf tide. At his peak period, he had reached rank 3. However, because of injuries, his cultivation dropped down to rank 2 peak stage, and now due to his old age, his cultivation had further dropped down to rank 2 upper stage. Although his cultivation was the same as Fang Yuan, his fighting strength could not be compared to the latter. Gu Yi's expression was ashen. He had long heard of this eccentric loner Fang Yuan, a lad with a vicious and stubborn temper, arrogant and rude, considering everyone beneath him. He had prepared his heart before he came here, but to think that he had still underestimated Fang Yuan. He wanted to use his reputation, but this usually successful method had no effect on Fang Yuan. He felt his face burning and his heart filled with anger. He had lost all his honor right now. This disrespectful son of a bitch. He cursed inwardly, but didn't leave. He needed the vitality leaves. He was an experienced man and deeply knew the importance of the vitality leaves. In times, a vitality leaf could mean the difference between life and death. As one gets old, their courage starts to shrink. Back when he was young, he was hot-blooded and easily excited. He wanted to protect the clanspeople, he wanted to change the world, he wanted to become a great hero. In those times, he had the resolution to view death as a return home. However, right now he was old and was much more cool-headed. He had seen through many aspects of life in these years and could be said to have reflected on himself. Especially after several of his children died, his heart had grown more cold. Any organization needs sacrifices. Resources are limited. Although they are produced all the time, they are also consumed. As such, this add and decrease limits the total amount. Humans need food, clothes and lodging to survive, these are resources. GU masters need GU worms, primeval stones and food to cultivate, these are also resources. Becoming strong requires even more resources. But if you don't sacrifice, then where can I get more resources? I rather compromise others than sacrifice my benefits. Protecting, honor, family love, dreams, hot blood, they are all honorable reasons for sacrificing. There are no organizations that do not encourage self-sacrifice. However, the higher-ups would never say that, they would instead talk of protecting, honor, family love, dreams, hot blood, happiness and so on, and give all kinds of material benefits. However, the material benefits are just nonsense once one dies. What could a dead, great hero, enjoy? Look at Gu Qingshu. He, blissfully, died and was buried in the soil, his name carved in the gravestone as his spirit continues to influence future heroes. Chapter 146. Chapter 146, Oppressive. Zhongya looked at the Gu Yi whose face was grim, the former secretly feeling happy in his heart. This old man had forcefully made Zhang Ya bring him to this place. Zhang Ya only had rank 1 cultivation and was a junior, thus he had to lower his head to Ji Yuyi and bring him here. But now that he had been humiliated, Zhang Ya's heart was envious of Fang Yuan's unrestrained personality. Ji Yuyi wanted to give Fang Yuan a few tight slaps, to lecture this arrogant junior. But for the vitality leaves, he had to control himself. Junior Fang Yuan, you can't say that. You are still young, you don't know the importance of human relationships, there will come a time when you need to beg others. Just think, in future when you come to ask me for a favor and I treat you like this, how would you feel? Bullcrap human relationships. Fang Yuan laughed in disdain in his heart. The so-called unity was just because they were individually weak. Human relationships, it was important on earth. After all, there was no difference in personal strength among people. But in this world where people cultivated, things were inherently different. Human relationships were just a byproduct of strength. If one is strong, their human relationships would thrive. But for those who pursue relationships, they definitely have something to ask others of. As for not needing relationships, if one is overly powerful, they can snatch anything they want, give it away or die. Why would they need people's relationships? These were demonic path thoughts, and Fang Yuan would naturally not advertise them publicly. But since he was disturbed like this, Fang Yuan might as well do this business. Thus, he said, it's not that I can't sell it either. 1 vitality leaf for 68 primeval stones. How many do you want? Ji Yuyi outside the door was shocked by this price, quickly saying, Junior Fang Yuan, this price is too expensive. Fang Yuan snorted, then don't buy it. Among the resources provided by the clan, there are also vitality leaves, you can exchange it with merit points. Ji Yuyi laughed bitterly, how would I not know that, but these vitality leaves are all sold to those with relationships, the medicine hall clan elder Ji Yaoji has complete control over it, how can I interfere? Junior Fang Yuan, sell me a favor, I will definitely repay you. From what I see, 60 primeval stones is a just price. I do not anticipate people's repayment, you have wasted enough of my time. 70 primeval stones, if you don't want to buy it, leave. Fang Yuan responded. Ji Yuyi was furiously stomping, Junior Fang Yuan, how can you do business like this? Fang Yuan snickered, times are different, it is 72 primeval stones now, every sentence you say wastes some of my time, and when I feel unhappy I will raise the price, I hope you can make the right decisions. Hearing this, Ji Yuyi's face became furious, he wanted to say something, but every time he opened his mouth, no words came out. His hagged face was green and red, and Zhang Ya who was beside him saw this and cheered internally. Finally, he gritted his teeth, saying, okay, I'll buy it, I need 5 vitality leaves. You can hand the primeval stones to Zhang Ya. As for the vitality leaves, collect them from him 3 days later. Fang Yuan said. This was overbearing, trading goods and money was the most basic fairness. But Ji Yuyi still paid the money, handing multiple bags to Zhang Ya on the spot. His movements were slightly trembling, for this was his meager savings, the savings from him scrimping throughout the years, and now they were all taken by a shrewd merchant. Finally, he walked out of this bamboo building with an endless feeling of indignance. Lord Fang Yuan, what you did was really cool revenge. But I'm afraid you have completely offended Ji Yuyi. This old man, when he was young he always took revenge on people, he would not let go of this easily. Outside, Zhang Ya said carefully. Let him be, an old man relying on his seniority, he is bound to get eliminated by the clan. Fang Yuan opened the door, and Zhang Ya handed him the bags. The clan wants to resist the wolf tide, so that requires large amounts of resources. With less resources, they cannot maintain the large organization structure, thus they would need to get rid of members. These old men being alive were wasting precious scarce resources, they were destined to go. The wolf packs eliminated the old and sickly, expelling the crippled wolves. In human society, they would not be so obvious, always masking their evil with a shield of light, thus they called these old GU masters to fight. So what if GUUE understood the intention? Being in the system, a person in society, they had no choice. The clan uses the reason of protecting their family and clan to call them to fight and sacrifice, how can they refuse? On earth there is a sentence, if the emperor wants the subjects to die, they cannot do otherwise. But still countless people fight for the positions of being the emperor's subjects. This was the allure and cruelty of the system. Every round of the wolf tide in the past, those old GU masters who come out to fight, how many can survive? Let's not say 5 vitality leaves, even if we give this Guu 50 pieces, he might not make it out alive. Fang Yuan stood at the door, laughing coldly. When Zhang Ya heard this tone, his heart was freezing. He could feel an aura from Fang Yuan, full of coldness and frost, like the northern winds blowing until he cannot raise his head. Fang Yuan looked at Zhang Ya, his eyes dark and black, continuing, from now on, other than the arranged timings, you cannot look for me. If you break my rules, be prepared to face the consequences. Letting you sell the vitality leaves for me, is on account of your brother. But respect is given by others, and thrown away by own self. Think over your own actions. Zhang Ya heard Fang Yuan's lecture, not daring to speak. Thinking of Ji Yuyi's sad state, sweat poured from his forehead. Also, from now on, raise the price of the vitality leaves to 70 primeval stones. Fang Yuan said again. 70. Zhang Ya was shocked as he gulped, his eyes shining, as if he can see an endless supply of primeval stones. But he was also rather afraid, asking meekly, Lord Fang Yuan, raising prices like this, will it cause others to think that we are growing a fortune through the misfortune? Would we have the suspicion of taking advantage of the clan's state? If we do this, we might incur public outrage. Public outrage. HMPH, what can they do? Do what I order, don't talk crap. If someone finds trouble, tell them the vitality leaves are sold by me. Fang Yuan snorted. Yes, yes, yes. Zhang Ya nodded furiously. Fang Yuan's words were what he wanted to hear, he was going to do this as well. He was just a rank 1 small fry, he cannot offend too many people. Throwing all these problems to Fang Yuan, he had already started doing so. A small fry also has his own survival methods, and towards Zhang Ya's intention, Fang Yuan was clear at heart. But cultivation difference and era difference results in Fang Yuan living a different lifestyle. After using that red steel relic Gu, he would be rank 2 peak stage, near to rank 3. That means he has finally grown past the initial step, and having this strength means his life and future would be different. In the past he needed to lay low, but now he needed to be oppressive. Only when he is oppressive can he obtain the biggest benefit. As for this Zhang Ya, he still has some value to make use of. Even with his petty acts, as long as it does not infringe on Fang Yuan's benefits, he can tolerate it. Even revealing some unimportant trump cards is not a big deal. During peacetime, those higher-ups have nothing to do, thus they might find problems. But now that there is the wolf tide, who has the energy to care about such minute details? After the wolf tide, it is not guaranteed that the Guu village still exists. Half a month later, lightning wolves attack like tidal waves, causing the Guu masters to retreat in a hurry. Shang Yuan Zhen, you must hang in there. Guu village is not too far away. Shang Jiaoman stared at the clansman on the ground, her eyes turning red as she shouted. Leader Big Sis, I can't take it anymore. I have something in my heart I want to tell you. Shang Yuan Zhen was at his dying breath, his injuries were severe and his face was full of death. Okay, speak, Shang Jiaoman sobbed. She knew in her heart that although this Shang Yuan Zhen was normally quiet, but he was secretly in love with her. At this moment, she knew what he wanted to say. But when Shang Yuan Zhen opened his mouth, he did not manage to confess and say, I love you. He had died of blood loss, injuries too severe to cure. His body was full of injuries, all from the bites of the lightning wolves. The most fatal blow was at his chest, from his right shoulder all the way to his belly button, this was caused by a bold lightning wolf. Big Sis, the situation is bad, another bold lightning wolf group came. The Rakan Guu master shouted, his voice filled with panic. Shang Jiaoman's cries ended, placing Shang Yuan Zhen's body down. She was the group leader, her group members need her. The dead has passed, and those alive has to continue facing the cruelty of this world. These goddamn wolves, is there an end to them? Shang Jianman cursed fiercely. Her body figure was hot and she had a nice pretty face, so when she said these swear words there was a unique flavor about her. Hearing her words, the others calmed down internally. As Shang Jianman cursed, she observed. The investigation result made her slightly distressed. She could kill a group of bold lightning wolves, fight her way out of 2 groups, but against 4 bold lightning wolf groups, the wisest decision is to retreat to the valley behind her and use the signal Gu, hoping for reinforcements. Retreat to the valley, Shang Jiaoman shouted as she activated both her giant bears to protect them. These 2 giant bears were well raised by her. One brown and one black, with smooth and shiny fur, but they were both full of injuries all over their bodies. When Shang Jiaoman and the others successfully retreated to the valley, these 2 bears were left with one, The black one had been engulfed by the lightning wolves pack after killing tens of lightning wolves, having run out of energy. A GU worm shot out from the bear corpse, returning back to Shang Jiao Man's hand in an instant. This was the bear enslavement GU. It can be planted into bears to allow the GU master to manipulate giant bears. Of course, it can only be an ordinary bear, for the bear enslavement GU is a rank 2, it cannot enslave a bear king. If it can enslave a bear king, they would be strong. Because a bear king, even if it is the weakest, has at least 100 bear subordinates. If a GU master can enslave a bear king, it means they have a beast group to manipulate as well. Now we wait for reinforcements, hopefully they can get here soon. Shang Jiao Man panted as she sighed. They had retreated to the valley, thus the area they had to defend against greatly decreased, causing the pressure from the wolf packs to also decrease. But it also meant they had no way out, and the blood and continual battle would attract more wolf packs. The crisis was not resolved. At this point, from the cliff above their heads, a voice was heard. Everyone raised their heads to look, and saw that there was a young man. It's him, Gu Fang Yuan. The 7 Shang clan Gu masters were first invigorated, but then showed a complicated expression. Chapter 147. Chapter 147. This Fang Yuan is too arrogant. Ever since Bai Ningbing and Qing Shu's intense battle, Fang Yuan, who had chased after Bai Ningbing the entire way, had become well known, and his popularity rose. These days, Fang Yuan had shown his strong side in the wolf tide, heading alone to hunt lightning wolves and showing shocking results. He was the new generation's rising star. If not for his strange personality and bad reputation, his status would be on par with Kai Shan and Mo Yan. But to the Shang village members, Fang Yuan was also Shang Yang's murderer. Thus, when Shang Jiao Man and the others saw Fang Yuan, they showed a complicated expression. Fang Yuan stared at them from above, waving his tree vine, saying slowly, "You can continue to wait for reinforcements, or escape using the vine in my hand and climb up the mountain." Who knew when the reinforcements would come? Matters on the battlefield were ever-changing. Shang Jiao Man and the others obviously chose the tree vine in front of them, but Fang Yuan actually asked them for remuneration. This caused the Shang clan GU masters to be furious. "Fang Yuan, we are alliance mates. How can you do this?" Someone shouted furiously. "Asking for the bear enslavement GU, how shameless can you be?" Someone sneered. Fang Yuan calmly retorted, "1 bear enslavement GU and 700 primeval stones, in exchange for all 7 of your lives, this is a cheap price. You can reject me, and I will go back to the clan to report your circumstances." But when will the reinforcements come? Will they encounter a wolf pack on the way here? That I cannot guarantee. Everyone became quiet. Their expressions were ugly. "All right, I promise you. Fang Yuan, you really live up to your reputation." Finally, Shang Jiao Man chose to give way for the sake of everyone. Her words were full of spite towards Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan shrugged nonchalantly, the result was as expected. He threw down the tree vine, and laughed coldly in his heart. These 4 bold lightning wolf packs were lured here by him, he wanted to wait for them to die before retrieving their GU worms and get a huge amount of merit points. But their signal GU had attracted the attention of the surrounding groups of GU masters, and they were all rushing over to help. To not waste his effort, Fang Yuan could only act as a reinforcement GU master for once. Shang Jiao Man and the others used the tree vines and successfully escaped from the wolf pack. Not long after, 3 GU master groups arrived, and one of them was the Kai Shan group. This caused the 7 GU masters to become even more upset. Shang Jiao Man was extremely regretful. Not long ago, she had withdrawn her consciousness from the bear enslavement GU and cooperated with Fang Yuan in refining the GU worm, thus even if she wanted to go back on her words now, it was impossible. "Fang Yuan, I will remember you." Shang Jiao Man stared at Fang Yuan fiercely in the eye. "Remember or not, that's your business." Fang Yuan laughed plainly, turning around and leaving. "Miss Shang, we meet again." At the other end, Kai Shan group arrived, speaking with a courteous tone. Ever since the Bai Ningbing incident, Gu clan lost to Qing Shu, and Shang clan's Shang Li died, thus the 2 clans got closer. Politically, Bai clan became resisted by the other 2 clans together, even though the alliance was still in place. Little sister pays respects to elder brother Kai Shan. Shang Jiao Man lifted her frowning brows, cupping her fists towards Kai Shan, continuing, "This time, we are asking the Gu clan for some reinforcements. Shang clan has been surrounded by wolf packs for 6 days and 6 nights already." These days, the wolf tide was getting more severe. The lightning wolf packs have already started to surround the villages with the intention of attacking. Shang clan had the lowest position among the 3 clans, situated at the mountain foot. They would be the first to get attacked by the wolf packs. In fact, this is the 3rd time they had gotten surrounded, and they needed reinforcements. With the coordination of offense from the outside and inside together, they would then be able to scatter and defeat these lightning wolf packs. The matter about reinforcements is not issue. Didn't we cooperate well the last 2 times? But this matter, I have to report to the clan leader first. Come with me, Kai Shan said. Shang Jiao Man and the others followed Kai Shan group, coming to Guu village. Guu village already had layers of defenses. The outer walls were strongly reinforced with dozens of towers. Below the village walls were trenches dug and filled with sharp bamboo poles. The village walls had been planted with the steel vine Gu and poison flower Gu. At one glance, the walls were covered in sharp vines and the beautiful poisonous flowers were all budding, over hundreds or even thousands of them. Entering the main door, one could see that the surrounding buildings, whether it was a residence or tavern, had been all transformed into temporary forts. Shang Jiao Man and the other 6, after leaving the Shang clan, their journey was filled with difficulty. Traversing through wolf packs, they all had different injuries. Thus, they were led into a bamboo building to receive treatment. There was over 10 healing Gu masters in the bamboo building, mostly rank 1 Gu masters, but also a few rank 2 Gu masters. But what caused Shang Jiao Man and the others to be shocked was, the person in charge was not a rank 2 healing Gu master, but a young girl. Put this unconscious one on the vine chair. The one here has a fracture on his leg. Gu Xing, come here and give him treatment. Superficial injury. Ah Feng, come here and stop the bleeding. Ah Xing, come here and apply the disinfectant. Xiaohua, go place a fracture board on that leg fracture, then come here to bandage the injury. The young girl had black hair, a peach-like small mouth, both eyes shining like crystals, and her face was slightly chubby, with a alluring voice. But when she handled the patients, she was very experienced, causing others to look in amazement. Shang Jiao Man suddenly thought of one person, asking, "This little sister, are you Guu Yaola?" Shang clan's sister Jiao Man, hello. To think you know of my name. After assigning the Guu masters to their stations, Guu Yaola walked over and introduced herself. Sister Yaola, you are a famous character. Inheriting Lord Yaoji's benevolent heart, and also extremely talented in medical skills, even with your rank 1 cultivation, you are known as the top 10 rising stars in Qingmao Mountain. Even at the Shang clan, there are numerous people admiring you, sister. Seeing her strong background, Shang Jiao Man politely praised as she was on a trip to ask the Guu clan for help. I'm flattered, Sister Jiao Man. Guu Yaola is still young, and her face turned red as she looked down in embarrassment after being praised. At this time, a Shang clan Guu master complained, although you're both the top 10 rising stars, that Guu Fang Yuan seriously cannot compare to you, little sister. Don't mention Fang Yuan, my blood boils thinking of him. Times without heroes, lad gains fame. Sigh, this person's morals are lacking, to think he is also a top 10 rising star, and even the number 1 position. Thinking about it makes me want to vomit. This sentence immediately attracted the attention of the people nearby, including the Guu clan's Guu masters. Guu Fang Yuan. What did he do this time? Someone curiously asked. HMPH, he took one of my bear enslavement Gu, and even 700 primeval stones, as a reward for saving us. I've never seen anyone so shameless, and corrupted by greed. Shang Jiao Man snorted, venting her unhappiness. This is nothing, there are worse things. His heart is blacker than coal, selling a vitality leaf for 80 primeval stones, he is taking advantage of the situation, this person is greedy and extremely shameless. He is too arrogant and proud. My friend wanted to join his group, however not only was he rejected, but he even got insulted in public. What's his deal? He's merely a C-grade talent. He is a living prodigal son, wasting the inheritance both his parents left him to buy a red steel relic Gu from the caravan. Next he snatched another red steel relic Gu from Bai Ningbing. If I had these 2 Gu worms, I can also have his cultivation. Lord Guu Qingshu is the best after all, humble and kind, too bad he died early. But his brother Fang Zheng has a sense of justice, helping those in need and is kind-hearted, also having Lord Qingshu's humble attitude, he is completely the opposite of his brother. Shang Jiao Man did not expect her ranting to cause so much reaction from the Guu clansmen. She was shocked, to think this Fang Yuan was such a failure as a human, being hated by so many people. She felt strange, asking, since he is so hated, why did no one teach him a lesson? The bamboo building instantly became silent. The GUU clansmen all looked at each other, not saying a word. In truth, many people could not stand Fang Yuan's mannerisms, as well as his act of maximizing profit under such circumstances. Many people found problems with him, but the result every time was that the person finding fault got into an even bigger mess themselves. After many times, no one came to find fault with him anymore. And Fang Yuan also became publicly known as the head of the top 10 rising stars that emerged from the wolf tide. All these statuses originate from strength. Fang Yuan's battle strength was the strongest, so he was the head. Regardless of how bad his reputation is, or how poor his human relationship is. That Fang Yuan again, Gu Yaoji lightly frowned, muttering. She had never seen Fang Yuan, but had already heard much about him. Towards Fang Yuan, she had a poor impression of him. This Fang Yuan, although my senior, the things he does are unforgivable, and he is so extreme. He dared to extort Sister Zhao Man this time and got the bare enslavement Gu, not giving a hoot about our two clans' agreements. No, I must tell Grandma and let her teach this Fang Yuan a lesson, otherwise our Gu clan will be humiliated. Thinking of this, the young girl suddenly felt that there was a need for a clan higher up to come out and teach this Fang Yuan a lesson. She naturally did not have this ability, but she felt that her grandma, Medicine Hall's Gu Yaoji could. In her eyes, her grandma was omnipotent. You want me to deal with Gu Fang Yuan? Yaoji looked at her granddaughter, her expression blank, and soon after that she started getting nervous. My dear granddaughter, did he bully you? She hurriedly asked. He did not bully me, but he bullied others. This time it is the Shang clan's sister Zhao Man, he extorted her, getting a bare enslavement Gu and 700 primeval stones. This is too much. If this goes on, the clan's reputation would be completely ruined by him, Gu Yaola said. Grandma knows this matter. Darling granddaughter, leave first, Grandma will not disappoint you. Yaoji said after deep considerations. Thank you Grandma. Grandma, you do not know, but this person is too wicked, raising the price of his goods and bullying the weak. He is a true villain. After the young girl left, Yaoji fell into deep thoughts. She had wanted to deal with Fang Yuan for a long time, however it was naturally not a naive reason like Yao Li's, but because Fang Yuan possessed enough profits for her to strike. First was the liquor worm. Although previously, Yaoji had bought one from the caravan. But that was given to her granddaughter Yaola. She herself still needed one liquor worm as an ingredient to refine a rank 3 Gu worm she wanted to fuse. Next was the 9-leaf vitality grass. The clan's 9-leaf vitality grass were mostly in Yaoji's control, and by relying on selling the vitality leaves, she could consolidate her authority and status in the clan. This Fang Yuan is too arrogant. First I wanted to buy his liquor worm, but he refused. What guts. This time he raised the price of the vitality leaves and earned a fortune. Does he really think I, the medicine clan elder, is thin air? HMPH. Chapter 148. Chapter 148, Circumstance. Two giant banners fluttered in the wind with a ringing noise. One was the battle merit board. Fang Yuan was now among the top 10 in the list. Another banner listed all kinds of goods which could be exchanged with battle merits. However, most of the GU masters in the crowded plaza had their attention on a newly announced decree. The content of the announcement was, the wolf tide is becoming more fierce and the casualties among the clan's GU masters are increasing day by day. To reinforce the treatment methods, the medical hall orders all the GU masters who possess 9-leaf vitality grass to temporarily hand them over to the clan. The medical hall will organize staffs to unify all the productions. There were a list of names in the notification. They were the names of the GU masters that possessed 9-leaf vitality grass in the clan. Naturally, Fang Yuan was also listed. Right now, he was standing in a distant corner looking at this notification, his expression couldn't help but turn ugly. At first sight, he had realized this to be Gu Yaoji's move against him. HMPH, this Gu Yaoji has been indignant since she failed to purchase the liquor worm from me. I already accumulated enough battle merits to exchange for that 3 steps fragrant grass Gu, but she prevented this from happening in the dark. Now, she is actually coveting my 9-leaf vitality grass. Gu Yaoji's actions were understandable. People of the same trade were natural enemies. By controlling the sale of the vitality leaves, Gu Yaoji could consolidate her authority, deepen her influence and maintain her connections. However, Fang Yuan sold them in increased price, so this imperceptibly was infringing on her benefits and shaking her influence. I have a lot of GU worms on me now, White Jade GU, Moonglow GU, Plunder GU, Water Shield GU, Earth Communication Ear Grass and more. 9-leaf Vitality Grass is my most important economy source. If I lose this GU, it will be like receiving a checkmate. GU Yao Ji made a really fierce move. Fang Yuan frowned. The discussions of the surrounding GU masters entered his ears. Medicine Hall made a truly great decision. There are very few vitality leaves and they simply can't meet our needs. Every time a batch appears in the goods board, they will immediately be purchased by others. Elder Yao Ji is truly gentle and kind. Look at the name list, it includes several GU masters from both Kai and Mo factions. She has no doubt offended many powerful elders with this action. Elder Yao Ji is thinking for the clan, she is worthy of respect. Only Lord Yao Ji has such courage. If it was any other elders, who would dare to take such action? Look, the notification contents have changed. Kai and Mo factions GU masters have handed over their 9-leaf vitality grass. The crowd was boiling. 9-leaf vitality grass being consolidated and unified production meant the availability of much more vitality leaves. This was a great news to the crowd. Fang Yuan watched the notice with rapt attention and sure enough saw, beside the name list of these GU masters, there were new words, handed over. His own name had thus become conspicuous. His heart felt increasing pressure. Gu Yao Ji was an old veteran with deep schemes. With this move, she was borrowing the momentum to pressure Fang Yuan. If Fang Yuan resisted or disobeyed, that would be attracting even bigger troubles, giving people a hold over him. It was absolutely not a sensible act. This was the power of the system. If the clan wanted you to sacrifice, it won't directly say so. Instead it will drape a shiny cape of righteousness, and give you no choice but to submit. An example was the recruitment of those retired old GU masters and making them sacrifice their lives. How could they resist? The current movement of collecting the 9-leaf vitality grass was asking Fang Yuan and other GU masters to sacrifice their benefits to satisfy everyone, and was basically to Yao Ji's benefits. Anyone that dared to disobey was going against the clan and alienating themselves. They were traitors and rebels. To resolve this, small schemes like delaying tactics won't work and will instead put oneself into an even more passive state. Yao Ji's move carries righteousness and the public opinion. Any small schemes will be destroyed. Only by using an even bigger momentum, fairly fighting back and defeating her momentum openly will resolve this. Fang Yuan already had a solution. This plan was simple but grand. Advance to rank 3. Rank 3 and rank 2 GU masters had completely different status. In the clan, any GU master that advanced to rank 3 would immediately become an elder and join the decision-makers' circle. Even the clan head couldn't lightly infringe upon their benefits. Don't think that the GU masters of the Mo and Kai factions obediently handed over the 9-leaf vitality grass, seemingly sacrificing their own benefits. Behind the scenes, Gu Yao Ji should have already completed secret transactions with Gu Kai Lian, Gu Mo Chen and other elders. This was political transaction. However, the majority couldn't see this truth and were hoodwinked by Yao Ji. If Fang Yuan was a rank 3 GU master, even if he had to hand over the 9-leaf vitality grass, he would definitely obtain enough compensations in other aspects. Why was Gu Yao Ji so anxious to deal with Fang Yuan? On one hand, it was because of benefits. Fang Yuan's actions infringed on her benefits and similarly she wanted some GU worms that was on Fang Yuan's body. On the other hand, Fang Yuan was already at rank 2 peak stage. If she didn't make any move now and waited for him to become a rank 3 elder, there would be no more opportunities. Advancing to rank 3 is a must. The clan can sacrifice rank 2 GU masters, but rank 3 GU masters are its pillars and each loss would incur a huge damage. Moreover, I have accumulated too many troubles. Qing Shu died but the clan didn't do a careful investigation. I have the Water Shield GU, Plunder GU and other GU worms, but the clan has turned a blind eye to it. My cultivation is advancing so fast, the higher-ups clearly know about it, but are enduring it and haven't examined the secrets on me. Fang Yuan was very clear on his current situation. On the surface, he looked to be strong and well off, but he was actually surrounded by danger. The clan didn't move against him because their attention was completely on the wolf tide. If they can't resist the wolf tide, the clan would be destroyed. In front of such pressure, Fang Yuan's situation was only a minor detail to them. However, once the wolf tide is gone, the clan's higher-ups would regain their energy. How could they not look for him to settle the account? Before in the academy, the clan elders didn't move against Fang Yuan because he was too weak. He was taking small steps and didn't infringe upon their benefits, thus not attracting their attention. But it was different now. Fang Yuan's cultivation was already at rank 2 peak stage. If he took one step further, he would become an elder. Simply this cultivation had already touched the elders' nerves. His every movement was observed and noted by the elders. Any newly advanced elders could influence the whole political situation of the Jiyu clan. This resulted in continuous suppression of Fang Yuan. What's more, Fang Yuan hadn't joined the system and entered any factions, thus these made the suppressions become even more intense. Neutral faction was also a faction. No one could tolerate the current Fang Yuan, someone who was roaming beyond the clan system. If I advance to rank 3, the suppression will definitely be much more lower than now, though they will still be there. Rank 3 is a point of qualitative change, a threshold. Stepping through it will bring one to a whole new world. Similarly, with rank 3 cultivation, I can freely move about. At worst, I will simply leave the clan. Fang Yuan was clear on this. However, advancing to rank 3 was not an easy thing. Especially considering Fang Yuan's C-grade aptitude, it was almost an impossible barrier. In his previous life, he had stalled at rank 2 peak stage for over 100 years. Until afterwards, he paid a painful price to obtain a GU and promoted his aptitude. Only then could he step through this difficulty. In a GU master's cultivation, it was easy to advance through small realms, they only needed enough time and patience. However, every large realm had a barrier, and the higher you go, the harder it is to cross. Especially the difficulty in advancing from rank 5 to rank 6 was beyond imagination, harder than ascending heaven. Fang Yuan already had a lot of difficulties in advancing from rank 1 to rank 2. Now, to advance from rank 2 to rank 3, there was no possibility of success by following the traditional route. Fortunately, in Fang Yuan's 500 years of life experience and vast memories, there were 2 to 3 methods. Saying it nicely, they were alternative paths, but saying it coarsely, they were demonic practices. This option was very suitable for Fang Yuan's current situation. With this option, advancing to rank 3 required one to refine a peculiar and bloody GU, man-beast life burial GU. An ancient devil path sect leader had made painstaking efforts and invented this recipe to strengthen his subordinates' cultivation. The man-beast life burial GU was specialized for rank 2 GU masters to break through to rank 3 realm. In his previous life, Fang Yuan explored unknown places and coincidentally found this recipe. It had made a deep impression on him and he had firmly kept it in mind. The crucial point was that the materials required for the fusion were not rare. If it were normal times, Fang Yuan might need 2-3 years to collect them, given his circumstances. However, the wolf tide gave him a great opportunity. He had already collected sufficient primeval stones and GU worms. The only remaining thing was to wait for an opportune moment. Everyone, quickly look at the notice the medicine hall has just issued. They want to collect 9-leaf vitality grass and unify the production of vitality leaves. This is a great news. In the bamboo building, a group of GU masters gathered near the notice pasted on the wall. They were all filled with delight when they read it. Ha ha ha, I reckon Fang Yuan is close to tears. HMPH, serves him right for selling the vitality leaves at such a high price, exploiting our hard-earned money. I really want to see what expression Fang Yuan has now. It would definitely be very ugly. Many people were taking joy in the other's misfortune. He, this really lets us vent our resentment. We really need to thank Miss Yaola for this. If she didn't persuade Lord Yaoji, how could there be such a day? Right, we are really grateful to Miss Yaola. Miss Yaola is not only beautiful, she is also kind-hearted, upholding justice and fairness for us. She has the demeanor of Lord Yaoji. As she heard the continuous praises, Gu Yaola shyly lowered her head, she felt happy. Little sister Yaola, right at this time, Shang Jiao Man walked in through the door. I came to say my goodbyes. I saw the medicine hall's notice. I am really thankful to you for letting me vent out my indignance. People like Fang Yuan are black sheeps and need to be controlled. Big sister, you are leaving. Gu Yaola threw a concerned look. Shang Jiao Man put one hand on her hip and pointed the thumb of her other hand to a group of GU masters standing outside the door, saying, I have already asked for reinforcements, I must hurry back. Let's meet again next time. Yao Li's heart was filled with grief. Shang Jiao Man had 10 GU masters when she had left her clan, but there were only 7 left when she reached here. Now, these GU masters were going to step into the cruel battlefield again. How many of them could safely return? Chapter 149. Chapter 149. Wolfpack attacks the village. Yaola sent Shang Jiao Man and the others to the door with her gaze as they got further apart. But this separation was extremely short-lived. Merely 15 minutes later, Shang Jiaoman and the others returned to the bamboo building. We are unlucky, there's a wolf tide, Shang Jiaoman laughed bitterly, explaining. When the GU masters in the bamboo building heard this, their expressions tensed. Shang Jiaoman's group had great numbers, yet they were forced to retreat to the village. It showed the intensity of this wolf tide. Everyone get ready, the lightning wolf pack is about to assault the village, Shang Jiaoman said. Once she finished her words, sirens resounded in the entire village. The village went quiet for a moment, then in the next instant noise erupted. This alarm, there is a large-sized wolf pack attacking the village. Quick, quick, gather all our group members here, there's a huge battle incoming. Damn it, I just got back, I wanted to get a good sleep. GU masters cursed as some showed a cold expression. At once, in the bamboo building and on the streets, GU masters could be seen moving quickly, gathering towards the 4 doors of the village as well as the outer walls. On the interior side of the village outer walls, there was a large wooden ladder at every interval for GU masters to climb up. And the many defensive towers were made higher than the outer walls, like brave courageous defenders of the village. Fang Yuan was among the crowd, arriving at the base of the outer wall. A GU master was treading on the wooden ladder, and as he was about to head up, Fang Yuan pulled him down and ascended himself. Which bastard, that GU master was about to scold out, but saw that it was Fang Yuan and immediately shut up. Fang Yuan climbed up the wooden ladder, then he expedited the white jade GU and peeked at the front lines. Just outside the village, there were roaming lightning wolves everywhere, thousands of them. Taking a glance, there was an endless number of glimmering green wolf eyes, causing one to break out in cold sweat. These wolves were all starving, and some were so hungry even their bodies were shrinking. The lightning wolves' amount was too much, it became a moving disaster. The surrounding wild beasts were either chased away or eaten, and for the wolf packs, they were getting less and less food. To them, a village full of people was a fatal attraction. Wolves were full of wildness, and a hungry wolf is even scarier, more dangerous, and crazier. A lightning wolf that is full would not attack the village. Other than these normal lightning wolves, there was also the bold lightning wolf. Although mixed in with the wolf packs, the bold lightning wolf was still easily recognized. Their bodies were as large as a calf. There was at least 30. Many people upon seeing this, drew in a deep breath. This was the second time GUU village had been attacked by wolves this year, but this size was almost twice or even more than that of the last time. These bold lightning wolves were all at the peak of their health, strong like bulls. Ordinary lightning wolves might not get food, but these 100 beast kings definitely had ample nutrition. Resources were naturally given to the higher-ups first. The benefits of the lower rank members would be stripped, sacrificed and given to the higher ranks. Be it human society or wild beast groups, it worked the same way. These bold lightning wolves are not the real threat. Fang Yuan's gaze moved, continuously finding and quickly saw 3 large wolf shadows at the back of the wolf pack, hiding under the shadow of the trees. 1000 Beast King, Frenzy Lightning Wolf. Each Frenzy Lightning Wolf was as large as an elephant. When Fang Yuan saw this, his pupils shrunk slightly, but went back to normal immediately. He continued observing, only finding even more bold lightning wolves coming in from all directions. Fang Yuan did not see the lightning crown wolf. Fang Yuan breathed out a sigh of relief secretly, for without the lightning crown wolf, the village was relatively safe. In his memory, the lightning crown wolf appeared at the end of August. It caused great damage to the GUU clan, and if not for the clan leader and elders joining forces to block them relentlessly, along with GUU Qingshu sacrificing his life to raise his strength, GUU village would have gotten wiped out already. Ever since his rebirth, Fang Yuan changed many things. GUU Qingshu had already been sacrificed prematurely, so Fang Yuan dared not be careless. There was even a possibility of the lightning crown wolf appearing now. Thus, he rushed to the site to observe the scenario. Howl. 3 frenzy lightning wolves raised their heads as they howled long and loud. In their cries, numerous lightning wolves received their orders, and started to attack the village. On the village's end, the GU masters had already prepared themselves, getting into formation. Rank 1 GU masters were all at the wall's corners, both hands supporting the cold walls. Rank 2 GU masters, some climbed the wooden ladders while others gathered at the top of the towers. Right behind them, the temporary forts that were remodeled from buildings were filled with GU masters, some were support teams, some were healing GU masters from the medicine hall, and recon GU masters were moving between them providing the battle information to the back-end staff. Some clan elders were at the back end, some ascended the tower buildings, and others watched at the sidelines, reserving their strength and being a pillar of mental support to the clansmen. "They're here." Fang Yuan stood on the wooden ladder, his eyes glimmering. Lightning wolves moved from the entire mountain, forming into a tidal wave and assaulted the village. Rumble rumble. They first fell into the pre-dug pitfalls outside the walls, their bodies penetrated by numerous bamboo spears, like dumplings inside a pot. Some died on the spot, while others had some life remaining, crying out pitifully. The wind blew, and the smell of blood entered everyone's noses, while wolf cries entered their ears. The wolf packs attacked in a frenzy. Not only did they not stop, they were in fact stimulated by the blood and attacked even more furiously. Lightning wolves fell into the trap one by one, using their lives to pave the way for the others. Stepping on their companions, corpses, and crashing up onto the village walls. At once, thudding sounds were heard. A lightning wolf was powerlessly against the wall, but with the endless hordes, the impact caused the outer wall to shake. Rank 1 GU masters below the outside wall held in their tremendous fear, and risked their lives injecting primeval essence into the steel vine GU and poison flower GU. The village walls, numerous thorns stabbed into the lightning wolf's body. The poison flower GU gave these steel vines a poisonous touch as the poison invaded the lightning wolf's body. Lightning wolves scratched and attacked the village walls, opening their mouths and biting, but as their injuries intensified and the poison accumulated, their movements gradually turned sluggish. Pew pew pew. Rank 2 GU masters stepping on the wooden ladders, along with those at the tower buildings, shot out moonblades. The moonblade shot into the wolf packs, and instantly blood splashed everywhere, and wolf limbs went flying. The bold lightning wolves began to enter the battle, immediately bringing injuries and deaths to the GU masters. Fang Yuan's corner. A thin long blue lightning current moved about and hit onto the village walls, instantly penetrating and creating a hole. It electrocuted an unfortunate rank 1 GU master inside as well. That bold lightning wolf that killed a GU master quickly received heavy attention. Numerous moonblades flew towards it, but it dodged left and right, relying on the surrounding lightning wolves to provide cover, thus suffering only minor injuries. Howl! It opened its mouth, and between its sharp teeth, sparks flew, quickly forming an electric current that flew through the air towards Fang Yuan. Water shield GU. Fang Yuan snorted, and from his nose, 2 lines of light blue water vapor flowed out. The water vapor expanded, forming a water ball shield, protecting him. The lightning current hit the water shield and caused it to shake, almost breaking. Moonglow GU. Fang Yuan kept the water shield, and from his wrist, 3 moonblades shot out. The moonblade's angle was tricky. The bold lightning wolf dodged the first, but its right front leg was hit by the second, causing its movement to slow down, and the third hit its head, causing a severe injury that crushed its left eye. It cried out in pain, but other GU masters saw the opportunity and quickly, a flurry of moonblades enveloped it. Pew pew pew. This bold lightning wolf was instantly pelted, its body bathed in blood, and injuries were so deep its bones could be seen. Its body shook a little before collapsing completely. The surrounding wolf packs went into a panic, like ripples in a pond. But at this point, there were 3 frenzy lightning wolves behind holding the fort, and the wolf packs only went into chaos for a while before raising their claws and attacking the village walls again. Fang Yuan shot a few more moonblades out before getting down the wooden ladder. With just this, his deep red primeval essence had already gone below half, needing replenishment. Seeing him coming down, a rank 2 GU master quickly replaced his position and ascended the wooden ladder. Normally, GU masters that had long-range attacks would ascend the wooden ladder, or gather at the tower building's roof. Their emphasis was on the bold lightning wolf, as its threat was greater than any ordinary lightning wolf. Some bold lightning wolf had a GU worm that assisted with jumping in their bodies, allowing them to leap into the village. Fang Yuan walked down the ladder, and continued towards the back. Surrounding him, there was people walking around, similar to him, those that had expended their primeval essence and were recovering. Another group of GU masters replaced their positions and entered the battlefield, providing their strength towards defending the clan. This was a battlefield, strength below rank 2 peak stage was meager. Only rank 3 GU masters were the important pillars, able to control the situation. Fang Yuan came to a bamboo building. This was a modified building and was heavily reinforced. He squeezed his way in, where many GU masters were sitting inside, holding primeval stones and recovering their primeval essence. Some healing GU masters moved among the crowd, some squatted on the ground, some bandaged injured GU masters, and the first aid kits were placed at the side. Fang Yuan found a spot to sit down, and a healing GU master immediately came over. He shook his head towards her, and she understood, approaching another GU master instead. Such a rotational strategy, all the way till 10 o'clock at night. Fang Yuan had already entered battle 5 times. But the lightning wolf packs did not seem to reduce. In fact, they could see even more wolf packs, hurriedly arriving upon hearing the frenzy lightning wolf's call. It seems this wolf tide will sustain through the night, said a clan elder who stared outside the village, his face full of worry. At night, GU Master's vision was poorer, but on the other hand, the lightning wolves had superior vision and were unaffected by the darkness. This is only the second wolf tide this year, and it is already so intense. The situation is not optimistic. Another clan elder sighed. Gu Yao Ji's face was sullen. She was the medicine hall clan elder, leading the healing GU masters. First-hand injury reports would be sent to her. On that thin piece of bamboo paper, it recorded the injuries and deaths of the day. Yao Ji held it in her hands, feeling solemn. The death toll was far greater than previous years. But she understood, this was not due to the decline of quality of GU masters, but because the wolf numbers were too great, and too ferocious. 9-leaf vitality grass, how's the acquisition? Seeing the blood-red sun setting, Yao Ji sighed, asking faintly. Her subordinate quickly reported, 3 people had not given up theirs yet, and Fang Yuan was among them. Yao Ji listened and snorted, then asked, where is Yaola? Miss Yaola is near the east door, leading the healing team. I've advised her many times, but she refuses to stay at the back, insisting on going to the front lines to battle. Saying so, he kneeled down in horror. Yao Ji thought for a while before nodding, waving her hand to send off the subordinate. Near to her granddaughter, there was a clan elder. Shang Jiao Man and the gang were also there, fighting at the village walls. It could be said that the front lines was the safest place. Although Yao Ji doted on her granddaughter, she supported her courage as well. The ones in power have their considerations. These experiences will become Gu Yao Li's political advantage when she inherits the medicine hall. Chapter 150. Chapter 150. I am only helping myself. The golden full moon hung in the sky, the drifting clouds casting a gloomy shade. There were desperate battles going on outside the village and the bright moonlight was great news to the GU masters in the dark night. Wolf corpses piled up in the traps and were already reaching the midpoint of the wall. This gave a good platform to move on for the charging lightning wolves. Some ordinary lightning wolves jumped, clawed and even directly leapt across the wall. However, these lightning wolves usually fell or staggered due to the height disparity and were immediately disposed of by the standby GU masters. At this time, Fang Yuan was standing on top of a tower, along with many other GU masters. They were endlessly throwing out moonblades and other attacks at the wolf packs. In the whole battlefield, these towers were the most important source of damage. The combination of the GU masters and the towers had eliminated a large number of bold lightning wolves. Kill, kill, kill. Annihilate these wolves. Nana, I will take revenge for you. Persevere, just a bit more. The clan's safety lies in our hands. The surroundings were a cacophony of noises. Some people were madly screaming, some were shouting revenge, some were shouting in pain, and some were shouting slogans. Fang Yuan indifferently stood there, his hand tossing out moonblades occasionally while continuing to observe the battlefield. Although there was a bright moon, the visibility couldn't be compared to daytime after all. The 3 frenzy lightning wolves were at the rear, unmoving, their figures indistinct. As long as they were unharmed, the lightning wolves were just cannon fodders and even bold lightning wolves were only high-level sacrifices. Suddenly, a frenzy lightning wolf unhurriedly took a step forward, it opened its large mouth and threw a thunderball. Rank 3 Thunderclap GU. This thunderball was not big, it was only the size of a millstone. However, a large amount of eerie blue electricity was condensed in it and its speed was strangely fast. Almost immediately, the thunderball fiercely collided with the tower Fang Yuan was on. The progress of the fierce battle had been in a deadlock, many GU masters were mindlessly fighting and they were not able to react to the thunderball. Water Shield GU, White Jade GU. Fang Yuan was only able to put up his defense before white light covered his sight. Boom! The huge sound from the explosion nearly ruptured his eardrums. A formless force erupted out from the explosion and sent him flying. The devastating thunder destroyed the water shield within 2 breaths of time. The surplus electric current struck Fang Yuan and even with the white jade gu's defense, he still felt bursts of numbness. Bang! He fell to the ground from a height of 3 to 4 meters. White Jade GU was not the Raiment GU, it couldn't lessen the force on impact. Fang Yuan's back hurt all over. He quickly got up from the ground, his eyes repeatedly blinking as teardrops fell from it. After 3 breaths of time, he slowly recovered his sight. The tower that had been built with thick stones was half destroyed. There were many burnt black corpses scattered around on the ground. The thunderball attack had opened a huge hole on the outer wall, and an unending stream of wolf packs charged into the village like a tide. The frenzy lightning wolves finally entered the battlefield. 1000 Beast King level strength was extraordinary. The many GU masters that were around Fang Yuan in the tower just a moment ago were completely dead, some left without intact corpses. Only Fang Yuan alone had survived. The jellyfish-like water shield GU appeared very dull inside his aperture. If the water shield was continuously destroyed many times, the water shield GU would also be damaged and could even perish. White Jade GU was also in a similar state. GU worms were strong and yet fragile. Take this Thunderclap GU for example, its thunderball was very powerful and fast, also difficult to resist. But it also had a weakness, it couldn't be used repeatedly and needed some time before the second thunderball could be shot out. Boom! But Fang Yuan had just stood up when another thunderball flew over. To think this Wolf King has 2 Thunderclap GU on it. Fang Yuan's complexion turned pale and he hurriedly dodged. He tried not using the water shield GU and only relied on the defense from the white jade GU. Beast, stop your insolence. At this critical timing, a figure appeared in midair, golden light bursting out from the figure as he resisted this thunderball. The elders had made their moves. However, one elder was still not enough. Soon, the elder was joined with 2 other elders. A frenzy lightning wolf needed at least 3 groups with great teamwork to join hands, or at least 3 rank 3 GU masters to face it. The frenzy lightning wolf took heavy steps forward, emerging from the indistinguishable wolf packs, as the surrounding wolves gave way. It gradually started from a slow run, and then got faster and faster, charging at the village wall with its head lowered. Seeing this scene, all the rank 1 and rank 2 GU masters fled in terror. Only those 3 elders still remained on their spots. Everyone tacitly vacated this part of the battlefield and left it to them. The intense battle between the 3 elders and this frenzy lightning wolf unfolded. Not long after, the other 2 frenzy lightning wolves also charged towards the village, opening another 2 battlefields. 9 elders and 3 frenzy lightning wolves formed into 3 great battlefields. Thunder and lightning burst out everywhere, destroying the bamboo buildings. Most of the GU masters or the lightning wolves who were caught in these 3 great battles didn't have a good end. Lightning wolf packs were still charging towards the village, but Fang Yuan didn't fight anymore and moved to a corner of the battlefield, observing the 3 great battle stages from a distance. No doubt, the attacks from these wolf packs had reached the climax. 3 frenzy lightning wolves, one has 2 thunderclap GU and has high offensive power, another has thunder wings GU and can fly for a short moment, giving it very high flexibility in the battle, another holds the thunder roar GU and can kill its enemies with the sound waves. Fang Yuan slowly got the details on these 3 frenzy lightning wolves after observing for a moment. 1000 Beast King usually has 3-4 rank 2 and a rank 3 wild GU worm residing on it. The GU masters could give proper response as long as they were clear on these GU worms. Once the frenzy lightning wolves suffered targeted attacks, with their low wisdom, they wouldn't change their monotonous attack styles, and the battle outcome was certain. Sure enough, soon the several elders retreated and other elders replaced them. With the mutual coordination between them and superior tactics, they were soon able to occupy the upper hand. After a short moment of intense battle, they controlled the battle situation. Victory was only a matter of time. The outcome is set. Just when Yao Ji puffed out a sigh, a roar sounded out from the eastern gate. A lightning wolf was growing bigger, from the size of a normal lightning wolf, as if air was blown inside it, it swelled up to a size of an elephant. There is actually another frenzy lightning wolf. Many elders were alarmed at this scene. Their attention had all been on the 3 battle stages. As their entire battle formation was heavily emphasized on these 3 areas, the forces at the eastern gate was somewhat thin and weak. Not good, Yao La is still there. Yao Ji suddenly turned pale, and she immediately shot out towards the eastern gate. To think there was still such an unforeseen event. This frenzy lightning wolf should have a rank 3 or a restraint GU, it used this disguise to mix in with the lightning wolf packs and deceive the GU masters at the eastern gate. Fang Yuan observed carefully, the situation at the eastern gate was far from good. A frenzy lightning wolf suddenly appeared and directly smashed the eastern gate, creating a huge hole. Countless lightning wolves flocked behind the bold lightning wolves, howling savagely as they charged into the village. Gu Yaola was numb with fear as she saw the lightning wolf packs charging in like a tide. Fortunately, she had veterans like Shang Jiao Man beside her. At this critical timing, Shang Jiao Man took it upon herself to control the scene and ordered, "Quick, close the doors and the windows. We need to defend this place till the reinforcements arrive, and only then will we have a fighting chance." She had just finished speaking when, bang, the roof of the bamboo building collapsed under the attack of the frenzy lightning wolf. Ji Yu Yaola screamed. The abrupt twist in events had caused her to lose her composure. She was after all too young and only had rank 1 cultivation. She had stubbornly stayed here because she felt safe and had never thought she would fall into such a dangerous state. "Brute beast, stop at once!" Ji Yu Yaoji shouted while frantically running. She helplessly looked as the frenzy lightning wolf rammed into the bamboo building. Her beloved granddaughter was in a dangerous situation, but even though she had the power, she couldn't help her because it was beyond her reach. At this dangerous moment, it was again Shang Jiao Man who stepped forward. She willed in her mind and her remaining brown bear charged towards the frenzy lightning wolf with a roar. The frenzy lightning wolf swatted with its right paw, sending this 400-kilogram over brown bear flying. It opened its mouth and bit the brown bear's head to pieces. How could an ordinary wild beast resist 1,000 beast king level strength? Shang Jiao Man took this time when the frenzy lightning wolf was tangled up with the brown bear to rush out with Ji Yu Yaola in tow, managing to pull apart a small distance. The frenzy lightning wolf roared. It naturally wasn't willing to see its prey run away like this. It leapt and crossed a dozen meters at once, landing in front of Shang Jiao Man. Suddenly seeing this frenzy lightning wolf appear in front of her, Ji Yu Yaoli's legs went soft. Shang Jiao Man dragged her but didn't dare to rush forward recklessly. She could only change her direction and run towards the outside of the village. The frenzy lightning wolf was just about to pounce on them when Ji Yu Yaoji arrived and threw a light purple moonblade at the wolf's back. The moonblade quietly changed into a ball of miasma and bore into the frenzy lightning wolf's nose. The frenzy lightning wolf immediately coughed twice. It was poisoned. This was the rank 3 moon poison Ji Yu. The frenzy lightning wolf was furious, and it raised its head and roared. Its fierce roar formed into an invisible force and smashed into the surroundings. Thunder Roar Ji Yu used the vibration of the sound waves to kill, but this was not Thunder Roar Ji Yu, it was the sound wave Ji Yu which formed invisible pushing force. Shang Jiao Man and Ji Yu Yaola were sent flying into different directions by this pushing force. Shang Jiao Man struck a bamboo building. No more movements could be seen from her, whereas Ji Yu Yaola was sent flying past the broken eastern gate and out of the village. The fall stunned her, and as she tried getting up, she saw a lightning wolf opening its bloody mouth and trying to bite her. Ah! She gave a shrill scream, and at this critical juncture, a moonblade flew over and killed this lightning wolf. She hurriedly stood up and saw the benefactor who saved her. He was a young male Ji Yu master. The lower half of his body had been buried under the collapsed wall. The male Ji Yu master vaguely smiled at her with his blood-drenched face. The next moment, his throat was ripped open by the swarming lightning wolves. Tears flew down Ji Yu Yaoli's face, and she cried as she ran. This part of the battlefield was extremely chaotic. Because of Ji Yu Yaoli's identity and background, there were Ji Yu masters who helped her out from time to time. But they were powerless to even protect themselves, much less help her out of this predicament. Ji Yu Yaoji was also tangled up with the frenzy lightning wolf and couldn't attend to her. Ji Yu Yaola was perplexed and fully at a loss within. There were only the images of claws and teeth of the lightning wolves in front of her. In her frantic state, she suddenly heard a voice speak, "Move a step back." She subconsciously followed the voice and was able to luckily avoid a lightning wolf's bite. "Roll to the right." That voice came again. Yao Li's consciousness was still blank, but her body had already made the move. There was a snapping sound of a wolf's mouth. She had escaped the bite by a hair's breadth. The voice arrived unceasingly and the young girl meticulously followed them. There were mistakes made sometimes, but at those times a moonblade would fly over from seemingly nowhere and get her out of the trouble. Only when there were no more lightning wolves around her, did Yaola discover that she was already safe. It was only when she had unconsciously drifted far away from the village and was in a remote forest. A human figure appeared in front of her. Her eyes immediately opened wide. "Ji Yu Fang Yuan, you were the one who helped me." "No, I am only helping myself." Fang Yuan grinned, revealing an evil intent. Chapter 151. Chapter 151. Demonic Nature. What? Ji Yu Yaola was shocked when she heard this. Fang Yuan had already struck at lightning speed, his hand chopping her neck. She fainted immediately. The young girl fell down helplessly, and Fang Yuan's hand quickly moved, holding her by the waist. Next, he activated the stealth scale Ji Yu, and their bodies vanished on the spot. When Ji Yu Yaola woke up in a sleepy state, she found herself in a dark mountain cave. She shrugged her head, trying to stand up subconsciously. But she soon found out that her arms were tied behind her back, the rope looped around her neck, she was tied tightly on a large rock. All the Gu worms on her body had been plundered away by Fang Yuan, refined and turned into his. She was merely a 15-year-old young girl. With that frail body, how could she break free from that thick ropes wrapped a few times around the rock, even tied with knots? Being trapped in this remote and unfamiliar place, the young girl started to feel frightened. She thought about the moment before she had fainted. Even the most naive person would also know that Fang Yuan was going to do something bad to her. But how would Fang Yuan deal with me? What is he planning to do? Is it because I complained about him to grandma, thus he is taking revenge? The young girl was tied helplessly, but her thoughts quickly flipped like pages of a book. The more she thought, the more frightened she got, and she started sobbing uncontrollably. "Grandma, where are you? Quickly come and save me." As she cried, she felt an intense fear and loneliness. Fang Yuan was nowhere to be seen, and the cave was filled with her cries. "Is Fang Yuan planning to trap me here for 7, 8 days, and make me suffer in hunger, so I will never speak ill of him again?" After crying for a while, Ji Yu Yaola thought of a possibility. "Too evil, Fang Yuan, I will never forgive you." She gritted her teeth as her impression of Fang Yuan, which was bad from the start, fell into negatives. Since her birth, Ji Yu Yaola had not hated a person so much. At this moment, footsteps were heard. Soon, Fang Yuan's silhouette was seen emerging from the shadows. "Fang Yuan, what do you want? Let go of me now. Otherwise my grandma will deal with you." Seeing Fang Yuan, Ji Yu Yaola struggled intensely, her slim legs stomping on the ground like a small deer that fell into a trap. "You sure are lively," Fang Yuan coldly snorted. Ji Yu Yaola was about to open her mouth and continue crying in a rage, but she soon saw a large bear moving behind Fang Yuan. "Be bear," her widened eyes showed shock as she stuttered. Fang Yuan laughed coldly, stretching out his hand and caressing the bear's black fur, his voice filled with coldness that flowed in the cave like ominous winds. "Because of the wolf tide, it was not easy to find such a wild bear, it took me lots of time and effort to find it." Ji Yu Yaola reacted instantly. Her quick-witted thoughts soon remembered that Fang Yuan had once taken a bear enslavement Ji from Shangjiao Man. "So that's it," she laughed coldly and was about to speak, but Fang Yuan suddenly squatted in front of her. "What are you doing?" The young girl tried to move away, but Fang Yuan easily used his right hand and grabbed her cheeks firmly. "Such a cute appearance, lovable indeed," Fang Yuan plainly commented. Swoosh! His right hand moved quickly, grabbing Yao Li's shirt, and pulled. The shirt was instantly torn, showing her pink undergarment. "Ah!" The young girl was stunned momentarily before shrieking loudly, frantically struggling. Even though her tender muscles bled due to friction from the ropes, she couldn't care less. Fang Yuan laughed coldly, continuing to pull and tear her clothing apart. RRRRRIP. Soon, the young girl's ragged garment was only left with a few torn strips of cloth, showing off large areas of her milky, delicate flesh. "No, no," she was extremely frightened, crying out loudly. As she thought of all the various possible ways Fang Yuan was going to deal with her, her whole body shook and trembled. However, Fang Yuan did not continue on as she expected, but instead he stood up and moved backwards. The young girl's loud cries turned into sobbing. But at this moment, the black bear moved its paws, and got closer. The young girl was frightened as her iris shrunk into pin size, for at this moment, she felt an intense sensation of death. Whoosh! The bear paw struck, and the sound of it breaking air could be heard. With a crisp sound, the young girl's skull was hit, and the intense force broke her thin neck. Her head was twisted at a creepy angle, broken and hanging on one end. One moment ago, she was still an alluring beauty, and the next moment she was a corpse. Her warm body tied to the huge rock, was like a broken toy doll. At this moment, even without Fang Yuan's control of the bear enslavement Gu, with its craving for food, the black bear had already lowered its head, enjoying this sumptuous meal. It first started to gnaw at the young girl's throat, and fresh blood immediately bubbled out, splashing onto its black fur. Next was the young girl's white and tender breasts, like flower buds that were unopened. The black bear bit on her right breast in one whole mouthful, tearing away the skin and flesh, exposing her deathly pale ribs. At this moment, the black bear used its paw to break these bones. The young girl's internal organs were crushed, and immediately blood poured out endlessly. Without the skeleton's interference, the black bear placed its mouth further into the girl's body. It nipped at the girl's heart that was still beating, then proceeded to swallow it in one mouthful. The heart passed through its throat and into the stomach, and this bear that had to hide around and couldn't eat due to the wolf tide, howled out in satisfaction. After another cry, it lowered its head again and started to consume her internal organs wantonly. Chomp chomp chomp. The black bear's mouth opened and chewed, large amounts of blood gushing out from its mouth, issuing a watery sound. After a good while, the black bear finally moved its head out. The young girl's chest was already empty, the immense injury extending to her stomach. But towards the shining, white intestines, the bear did not seem to have much interest. It started to focus on the young girl's white slim legs. The girl's jade-like fingers were all bitten away by the black bear at once, and with a few rounds of chewing, the fingers were swallowed with a crisp sound. The girl's thighs were also a delicacy. The tender skin and flesh of her thighs emitted a virgin fragrance. When the bear had finished, all that was left was the white leg bones. Among the swaying movements, the girl's skull finally dropped onto the ground. To be honest, she did have a cute appearance. Those black lustrous eyes with a round nose slightly pointing up, and her skin blushing like peach blossoms, with a small mouth and 2 rows of white clean teeth. But now, her face had lost the color of blood, her skin turning deathly pale. Her fine black hair was left hanging, covering half of her face, with those pair of eyes staring wide open, filled with fear and anger. A death full of grievance. Note: the following is religious text that may make no sense to most, but read it with a pinch of salt. Fang Yuan folded his arms as he observed Gu Yaoli's expression, thinking of a Buddhist saying on earth: without a sense of self, without a sense of person, to be detached of all living things, detached of the sense of time. Void is the red skull and white bones, skin and flesh. I am namely myself, without individuality. Breaking the sense of self, realizing that one is common and ordinary. Without a sense of self, means, everyone is equal, there is no difference. Man is humanity no longer treating humans as a superior race and demeaning other living beings. Without a sense of person, means that, the world is equal, there is no difference. Living things, refers to all life, no longer recognizing life as superior and thinking that non-living beings like rocks and water have cognition. This is, detached of all living things, which means, all in the world is equal, there is no difference. Any object or creature has their respective lifespan, and, detached of the sense of time, namely means, regardless of whether it exists or not, they are all equal without difference. No matter how beautiful the guy or girl, they eventually turn into a skeleton. Bones, skin and flesh are one, but people favored skin and flesh while fearing bones. This is being fixated on appearance, not recognizing that all is equal. This Buddhist term is calling for humans to break through all forms, seeing the truth. Beauty is superficial, and people, me, the world, and time, is all superficial. If one goes past the superficial aspect, they would see Buddha. Recognizing and going beyond, treating all as equal, all is equal. Thus, Buddha sacrificed his body to feed tigers, cutting off his flesh to feed eagles. This was the benevolence in his heart, seeing all in this world as his own, loving everything, and his great love for everything. No matter if it's me, others, animals or plants, or even the lifeless rocks and water, even those that do not exist, we have to love them. If a mortal standing there watches the bear eat a person, some hot-blooded teenager would jump out and scream, "You beast, don't you dare eat a person." Or, "Beauty, do not fear, uncle is here to save you." Etc. This was the mortal's love and hatred, loving young girls and hating large bears. Not going beyond and still fixating on the superficial, not able to see her red human skeleton. If Buddha stood there and watched the bear eat a person, he would sigh, chanting, "If I do not enter hell, who would enter?" He would save the young girl and feed himself to the black bear. This was Buddha's love and hatred, loving the young girl and loving the bear, treating all as equal. But right now, Fang Yuan was the one standing here. Seeing the young girl's tragic and violent death, his heart was unmoved. This was not because of his numbness to death, but he had gone beyond the superficial, having no obsessions. Without a sense of self, without a sense of person, to be detached of all living things, detached of the sense of time. Seeing all living things as equal, the world is equal. Thus, the girl's death is no different from a fox or a tree's death. But to a mere mortal, the girl's death would trigger their anger, hatred, and pity. If it was the girl eating the bear, they would not feel anything. If an old lady was eaten, the pity in their hearts would be greatly reduced. If it was a villain, a murderer getting eaten, they would clap their hands in joy, praising. In actuality, all beings are equal, and heaven and earth is just. Nature is fair, Disregarding love or hate, it is emotionless and never gives differential treatment. Rule of the strong, victor takes all. The disappearance of a life form, towards the entire natural realm and the infinite cosmos, to the long river of history, what does it amount to? Death means death, who can choose not to die? What talk about a girl, bear, ant, fox, tree, old lady, murderer, they are all lowly. Humble, mongrels. Only by recognizing this and going beyond the superficial, arriving at the truth, does one gain divinity. This divinity, taking a step towards the light, it becomes Buddha. If it takes a step towards the darkness, it becomes a demon. Demonic Nature. Chapter 152. Chapter 152, Advance to Rank 3. An hour later, Gu Yaola was almost completely eaten by the black bear. The black bear was unwilling to eat the intestines and the girl's brains, but Fang Yuan did not want that to happen. According to the man-beast life burial goose recipe, a wild beast must consume the entire person up to the tiniest scrap for the greatest effect. This can ensure success to the greatest rate. To refine this man-beast life burial GU, about 10 ingredients are needed. And the most important two, are man and beast. The human has to be a virgin girl, and has a GU master's aptitude. Furthermore, she has to be at least C-grade talent, but of course A and B grade would be better, and can greatly enhance the chances of success. This beast refers to the beast enslavement GU. The bear enslavement GU, wolf enslavement GU, tiger enslavement GU etc., even deer enslavement GU or bull enslavement GU can work. However, only bears, wolves and tigers, these carnivores have it easier eating meat. Otherwise, if forcing a herbivore like a deer or bull to consume this human, the enslavement goose manipulation would be required to force them to do so. After the beast consumes the human, the refinement has to begin immediately. Otherwise, when the beast digests the person's bones and meat, the refinement would no longer be possible. Seeing that the black bear refused to eat Yao Li's intestines and brain, Fang Yuan snorted in displeasure and willed in his mind, activating the bear enslavement GU that was planted in the black bear's body. The black bear growled, and under Fang Yuan's oppression, was forced to swallow the intestines and brain. At the same time, it broke the girl's bones to bits and swallowed them piece by piece. The bone shards were sharp and pointy, but under Fang Yuan's control, it swallowed them and many of the shards stabbed into its mouth and throat, the pain causing the huge bear to tear up. But Fang Yuan only strengthened his control, and the bear's body was no longer under its own control. Seeing the black bear stuffing the spine into its throat, Fang Yuan knew the time was ripe. He flicked his finger, and a single aperture charcoal GU flew out. The GU worm flew into the black bear's mouth and burrowed its way in. The black bear suddenly cried out painfully, as the charcoal goose power was burning its internal organs. The black bear's body was shuddering intensely, it cried painfully and wanted to roll around on the ground, but the enslavement GU had a steady grip on its movements. After burning for 15 minutes, Fang Yuan's finger moved again and 3 kerosene GU flew out. The kerosene GU was a rank 1 expenditure type GU, and upon entering the black bear's body, it exploded into large amounts of kerosene and intensified the fire burning inside the black bear's body. The black bear cried until its throat was dry, but Fang Yuan timed it well and threw several more GU worms out into its body. These GU worms were all exchanged using merit points. The black bear laid on the ground, completely motionless. A moment later, from its eyes, ears, nostrils and mouth as well as its butt, small sparks of flames were seen. Then, the fire got bigger and quickly enveloped its entire body, turning it into a giant fire pillar. The entire dim cave was lit up by this fire. But this fire was not the usual orange, but instead an eerie blood color. Fang Yuan patiently waited for a moment, until the fire was about to extinguish, then he threw out the final GU. This was a rank 2 poison GU. Throwing it into the fire, an intense reaction occurred. A white lump of light emerged from the fire, initially only fist size. Fang Yuan quickly took out primeval stones from his money bag and threw them into this light lump. The white lump digested the primeval stones and became bigger. After throwing up to 1,000 primeval stones, the light was around the size of a room door, and then suddenly shrunk. Huff! The fire on the bear's corpse extinguished at once, and the cave returned to darkness, while a GU worm wobbled its way to Fang Yuan. Man-Beast Life Burial GU. Rank 3, Expenditure Type GU. It looked like a black spider with furry long legs, but it had the head of a bear, and on its back there was a blood-colored tattoo, drawing the outline of a young girl's beautiful face. This was Gu Yao Li's face. It resembled a smile yet wasn't, it looked like a crying face and yet was not, but she seemed to be staring at Fang Yuan with a gaze filled with utter hatred. Fang Yuan laughed heartily, not minding it at all. Death is the end of all, even in life she was merely so, what more can she do to Fang Yuan after death? He opened his mouth with no hesitation and swallowed this man-beast life burial Gu. The man-beast life burial Gu moved along his throat into his esophagus, turning into a black and red mix of water flow. The water flowed from above, like an inverted heavenly river, pouring into his aperture. Entering the aperture, this gush of black-red water entered the red steel primeval sea immediately. At once, the entire primeval essence was turned into an eerie black-red color, filled with the smell of blood. Fang Yuan's thoughts moved as he activated this black-red primeval essence, rushing it towards the aperture walls. 10%, 20%, 30%, when 38% of the primeval essence was expended, the aperture had a loud boom as the white crystal walls broke into pieces. What replaced it was an entirely new round ball-shaped light membrane aperture wall. At this moment, Fang Yuan advanced to rank 3. But Fang Yuan did not loosen up, and instead forced the remaining black-red primeval essence out of his body. This primeval essence was not usable, and if injected into Gu worms, they would die. If left remaining inside the aperture, the longer it stayed, the more it would pollute the light membrane aperture walls, and cause one's aptitude to decrease. After expelling all of the black-red primeval essence out of his body, he grabbed a primeval stone and started to recover his primeval essence. First, a white-silver fog appeared, then it condensed into water droplets, finally forming his white-silver-colored primeval sea. For a Gu master, rank 1 is green copper primeval essence, rank 2 is red steel, and rank 3 is white silver. But this white silver primeval sea was not pure, as there was a trace of black-red mixed in. This is the side effect of using the man-beast life burial Gu. Fang Yuan was not surprised. He calmed his mind and expelled this white-silver primeval essence out of his body, before forming new primeval essence. The second time round, the black-red colored substance was reduced by half. But Fang Yuan was not satisfied, and expelled his white-silver primeval essence again, forming new primeval essence for the third time. After several tries, the black-red substance was reduced to a barely observable amount, and even if Fang Yuan attempted more tries, this substance would remain. This was an unavoidable consequence of using the man-beast life burial Gu. The man-beast life burial Gu's effect was extraordinary, able to turn a rank 2 peak stage Gu master with no hopes of advancing his entire life, into a rank 3. This was literally changing fate, thus there had to be some imperfection. Getting rid of this black-red substance, there was a method. The most common would be to use the cleansing water Gu. Cleansing water Gu can completely wash away impurities in the aperture. It appeared once in the tree house, but was bought by the Kai faction. In this short term, Fang Yuan could do nothing about the black-red substance. You bunch of useless idiots, what are you all doing? Not able to find such a large, lively person. In the medicine hall, Gu Yaoji flew into a furious rage, and her screaming caused even the window lattices and curtains to tremble. In her heart, she was worried, frightened, anxious and enraged. It had been 3 days and 3 nights, the 4 frenzy lightning wolves were exterminated and Gu village was relatively safe at the moment. But her granddaughter Gu Yaola was nowhere to be seen. Even after she mobilized all her relationships and combed the battlefield, there even being large-scale search parties around the village, there was still no trace of her. The ones who saw Gu Yaola for the last time were the battling Gu masters. What they saw was, Gu Yaola falling into the encirclement of the wolves, and had to run away frantically, in a worsening predicament. These showed that Gu Yaola was not in an optimistic situation, most likely consumed by the wolf packs. But Gu Yaoji was indignant. She could not accept such a cruel truth. If it was any other girl, so what if they die? But this was her own blood-related granddaughter, someone she had nurtured since young to be the inheritor of her medicine faction. She was so well-behaved and intelligent, loved by everyone. So lively and cute, bringing others joy. These days, Gu Yaoji could not sleep at all, for in her mind, it was all images of her granddaughter. Gu Yaoji had originally maintained her looks well, but in these 3 days, she seemed to have aged over 10 years. It was like her heart was dug away, and she felt an endless pain of emptiness. In her screaming, tens of Gu masters lowered their heads, enduring the cruel insults of the old woman. Reporting to Medicine Hall clan elder, this subordinate has something to report. At this time, a rank 2 Gu master walked in. What, is it news about Yaola? Ji Yu Yao Ji's eyes shone, asking quickly. Someone advanced to rank 3, the clan leader is holding an elder meeting at the clan leader pavilion to confirm the situation. The Ji Yu master quickly reported. Ji Yu Yao Ji's eyes dimmed, waving her hands, not information about Yaola, and still disturbing me. Wait, what did you say? Someone advanced to rank 3 and became a new clan elder. Halfway through, she reacted and lightly frowned. This was too sudden, with zero premonition. The appearance of a new clan elder would influence the entire Gu clan's political situation. This was a huge hit on the medicine faction who has lost its inheritor. In the medicine hall, the standing Gu masters started to discuss among themselves, guessing the identity of the new clan elder. Gu Yao Ji frowned, asking immediately, who advanced to rank 3. Reporting to Lord Yao Ji, it is Gu Fang Yuan, the Gu master answered. What? It's him. At once, Gu Yao Ji's iris shrunk. This was the worst of news to her. In the hall, the Gu masters also started to discuss violently. They couldn't have made a mistake, could they, to think it's Fang Yuan? Isn't he a C-grade talent? How can he become a rank 3 Gu master so quickly? Once he's rank 3, he will be a clan elder, a higher up in the clan. When we see him next time, we have to bow and greet him. How can this be? This is literally soaring through success. Earlier, didn't they say he's dead? He went missing for 3 days and 3 nights, and his corpse could not be found on the battlefield. We thought he was eaten by lightning wolves already. They were stunned, jealous and confused. Missing for 3 days and 3 nights, without a corpse on the battlefield, isn't this the same as Yao Li's situation? Ji Yu Yao Ji's ears twitched, and her woman instinct caused her to have intense suspicion towards Fang Yuan for no reason. She suddenly changed her mind. She is going to the clan leader's pavilion. Chapter 153. Chapter 153, really aged. He has truly advanced to rank 3. This rank 3 aura is genuine, and there is the white-silver primeval essence, there is no mistake. The atmosphere in the clan hall was solemn. The clan head Ji Yu Bo was sitting on the highest seat, with many elders seated in rows by his left and right. Whispers could be heard here and there, and dozens of people's attentions were more or less gathered on a young man who was standing upright in the center of the hall with his head held high. The young man was Fang Yuan. To think this Fang Yuan advanced to rank 3. If I hadn't personally seen it, I would never have believed it. Doesn't he only have C-grade aptitude? How could he advance so suddenly? Actually, it can't be said to be sudden. Did you forget that he obtained 2 red steel relic Gu? Right, it was 2 whole relic Gu, they can completely raise his cultivation steeply. Just thinking back when I cultivated, sigh. The group of elders were both amazed and puzzled, this matter had caught them completely unprepared. This Fang Yuan was able to advance to rank 3. He is merely of C-grade aptitude, but could actually have such accomplishments in this short time. This is really a surprise. Ji Yu Mo Chen, who was seated on the frontmost seat in the left row, exclaimed inwardly. He thought of 2-3 years ago, when Fang Yuan was still in the academy, and killed a servant of his family. He had already forgotten the name of this servant. But the minced corpse Fang Yuan sent over had left a profound impression on him. From that day, he saw Fang Yuan in new light, but didn't expect much from him due to his aptitude. Now, this young man actually had such accomplishments. According to the clan system, all Gu masters who advanced to rank 3 were new elders. A new elder was bound to have a huge impact on the old political structure. If I had recruited him before, I would be able to use this impact and gain political dominance. Sigh, it really is a pity. Thinking of this, Ji Yu Mo Chen couldn't help but glance in front of him. His old rival Ji Yu Kai Lian was seated on the frontmost seat in the right row. Right now he had a gloomy expression and obscure light flashed in his eyes. This Fang Yuan definitely has secrets on him. Although he had the help from the 2 red steel relic Gu, he couldn't have had advanced to rank 3 so fast. This is something even Qing Shu couldn't accomplish, Ji Yu Bo was also pondering. He unavoidably thought of his adopted son Qing Shu, and sighed. Were Ji Yu Qing Shu alive, he might also have rank 3 cultivation by now. Unfortunately, reality is cruel. Medicine Hall Elder Lord Ji Yu Yao Ji has arrived. At this moment, the door guard suddenly announced loudly. Following his announcement, an old woman walked in through the door. Her face was pale and filled with wrinkles, but under her weary eyelids were extremely sharp eyes that locked onto Fang Yuan in an instant. Ji Yu Yao Ji spoke as she walked forward quickly. Fang Yuan, you advanced to rank 3. I don't believe it. I will personally verify it. Let me inspect your aperture. The aperture was a GU master's most important secret and was also their personal affair. How could they let others inspect it so easily? Fang Yuan slightly turned his body and looked at Yao Ji who was walking over. He replied with a sneer, "Gu Yao Ji, on what basis are you demanding to inspect my aperture?" Back then, when he had just begun cultivating, his aperture would be inspected at fixed intervals by the academy elder. But it was different now. He was already a rank 3 GU master, someone who was on equal footing with other elders like the academy elder and the medicine hall elder. Moreover, it was very simple to verify one's cultivation. White silver primeval essence couldn't be faked easily, and similarly, his rank 3 aura was a fact. Outrageous. You, a junior, dares to call me by name. Yao Ji's eyes widened. Why can't I inspect you? With my identity as the medicine hall elder and also as your elder, I have the right to do so. HMPH, old hag, calling you by name is giving you respect. I still have yet to settle the scores between us. You harbored a grudge towards me when I didn't sell you my liquor worm, and actually wanted to plunder my 9-leaf vitality grass. HMPH, I also wanted to exchange my merits for that 3-step fragrant grass GU, but you prevented it in the dark. Now, I am also a rank 3 GU master, so you had better stop putting on airs. Fang Yuan's eyes were narrowed and his words sharp as a blade. He was very clear-cut with his words, completely showing off his hostility towards Yao Ji. If he said this with a cultivation of rank 1 or rank 2, he would definitely be suppressed and even attacked. However, the situation was completely different now. He was a rank 3 and his position was already equal to the elders. Towards Fang Yuan insulting Gu Yao Ji, the other elders' strategy was to wait and see. Being at a high position, their considerations were profound. Even if they weren't born shrewd, the years of political struggle had trained the shrewdness in them. They didn't have much understanding of Fang Yuan, so they could take this opportunity to observe him. Brat, you have the cheeks to slander me. Gu Yao Ji was furious due to the humiliation. What Fang Yuan said was true, but why would she admit it in front of everyone? The elders present were all silently observing the situation unfold. Most of the elders present here knew of the matter regarding the 9-leaf vitality grass and even had transactions with Gu Yao Ji. However, in politics, there are only eternal benefits, never eternal enemies or eternal friends. Upon hearing Gu Yao Ji retort herself, Fang Yuan coldly laughed and didn't reply. Gu Yao Ji's sound echoed and lingered within the hall. This old woman was slightly trembling. This silence made her feel like she was alone. Something had changed. The situation was no longer the same. Were Fang Yuan to be a rank 1 or rank 2, these elders would immediately jump out to stand on Gu Yao Ji's side and unitedly punish Fang Yuan. The authority of higher-ups absolutely didn't allow the lower levels to challenge it. However, Fang Yuan was rank 3 now, and even if the clan head hadn't officially announced it, his position as an elder was already set in stone. Thus, his contradiction with Gu Yao Ji was now the internal conflict between higher-ups. Fang Yuan was a newly advanced elder. His foundation were not yet deep and didn't have any background, but this was also his strength as he had nothing to lose in the first place, thus having no fear. By contrast, Gu Yao Ji was old and though she was in control of Medicine Hall, had a high position and broad connections, this was also her weakness. She was old and she couldn't afford to lose. Her medicine faction's inheritor Yaola was missing and the enormous assets she controlled were coveted by many. It would not be bad if it were peaceful times, but now was the time of the wolf tide and even elders had the possibility of dying. Things were turbulent, newcomers climbed up in position and old-timers stepped down. This was a time of change. There weren't any elders that could guarantee their own safety. Even the clan head could fall down. In the history of Gu clan, the number of clan heads that died in a wolf tide weren't few. As for the elders, they couldn't even guarantee their own safety, so unless there were enormous benefits involved, they wouldn't meddle in other people's fights. Gu Yao Ji felt like the situation had turned thorny. The hall was silent. Due to the matter regarding her granddaughter, she hadn't slept for 3 days and 3 nights. Right now as she stood there, she felt an invisible pressure shrouding her body and mind and it caused cold sweat to form on her forehead. She felt like a crippled old wolf, standing alone in the wolf pack. The surrounding wolves were standing in the shadows, observing her through their deep, dark green eyes. Fang Yuan who was in front of her was like a stoic wolf who had revealed its brilliance in the battle. He was so young, energetic and also ambitious. It really was the saying, old waves push the new waves forward, and a new generation replaces the old. At this moment, Gu Yao Ji felt that she had really aged. Very much so. Her eyelids jumped even more severely as her imposing aura gradually lowered. However, Gu Yao Li's figure appeared in her mind. She forcefully opened her blurred eyes, her aura increasing suddenly. She opened her mouth. Fang Yuan, why did you disappear for these 3 days? If you hadn't shown up, your name would have been listed in the casualties announcement in the medicine hall, in the list of the GU masters who died in battle. You disappeared for 3 days and 3 nights, and when you come back, you are already a rank 3 GU master. What happened during these days? Haha, I believe everyone here is interested in your explanation. After realizing she could no longer easily create troubles for Fang Yuan, her tone became more mild, no longer as forceful as before. However, her words were still very strong, with treacherous intentions hidden within. After all, she had the highest seniority as a high-ranking politician. The elders' eyes brightened when they heard this, revealing clear interest. No one was a fool among those present here. Fang Yuan's sudden advancement to rank 3 was indeed strange. His C-grade aptitude was after all known by everyone. Gu Yaoji's words brought those elders to stand by her side again. However, since Fang Yuan dared to return so grandly, he naturally had made preparations. Under everyone's gazes, he raised his head and laughed. Old woman, what you want to know, am I obliged to tell you? However, hearing the pitiful news of your granddaughter's death, I will benevolently tell you. During the past few days, I have been in closed-door cultivation in Elder Kai Lian's manor, trying to break through to rank 3. This point can be verified by Elder Gu Kai Lian. What? Gu Yaoji revealed a startled look. Other elders were also shocked, all kinds of complicated expressions appearing on their faces. Immediately, everyone's gazes were cast towards the gloomy-faced Gu Kai Lian. The Kai faction head, who held one of the 2 most powerful influences in the Gu clan, now appeared so gloomy that water could drip out from him. However, in front of everyone's gazes, he knew he needed to give an explanation, thus he reluctantly replied, "It is indeed so. I can testify that Fang Yuan has been in a closed-door cultivation in a secret room in my manor during these past few days." The instant these words came out, the whole crowd went in an uproar. The elders possessed deep restraint, they wouldn't lose their bearings and make a scene. However, there were many whispers and mutterings. To think Gu Kai Lian actually had relations with Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan's advancement is related to Kai Lian. There is a great probability. Didn't people speculate that Fang Yuan had someone supporting him from behind the scenes? To think it was the Kai faction. Maybe the reason for Fang Yuan's fast cultivation speed is because of Kai faction pouring resources to him. Fang Yuan is Fang Zheng's older brother. Elder Kai Lian's actions have a very profound meaning. Some elders discussed, whereas some elders' minds were flipping over. It turns out this Fang Yuan wasn't a junior with no one to guide his steps, he has the help from Kai faction. We need to be cautious towards him in the future. Fortunately, we didn't interfere and jump into the fight between Fang Yuan and Yaoji. Yaoji is in a dangerous predicament. She wanted to deal with an elder who didn't have any backing, but she could never have had expected that his background was so solid. It's actually the Kai faction. Gu Yaoji's face was very pale. When she had heard Gu Kai Lian confirming it, she took a step back in shock, her whole body trembling faintly. Opposing a lone elder compared to an elder backed by the Kai faction, these were 2 utterly different concepts. Chapter 154. Chapter 154. Vomit blood out of anger. Gu Mo Chen's heart was very heavy. He had planned to recruit Fang Yuan, but stopped himself due to Fang Yuan's aptitude. But now his old rival Gu Kai Lian actually got affiliated with Fang Yuan already. All the evidence points to Kai Lian providing support for Fang Yuan since over a year ago. Now, his investment had received such a great reward, and the Kai faction has a new clan elder. How can his heart not be heavy? Except, other than solemnness, Mo Chen was also confused. He was Gu Kai Lian's old rival, having competed since they were young. He had such a good understanding of his rival that he even knew what color of underwear his rival liked to wear. Logically speaking, Gu Kai Lian would have started gloating by now, throwing mocking and smug glances towards Mo Chen. But right now, his face was grim, like he had suffered an injustice. This was too strange. Just what had transpired between him and Fang Yuan? What sort of agreement did they reach? Gu Mo Chen could not get an answer. This Fang Yuan, his guts are greater than the heavens, to think he would actually threaten me. Gu Kai Lian's heart was filled with anger and perplexity. Last night, Fang Yuan had secretly approached him and used the matter of Gu Kai Cheng's fake aptitude to threaten him. Heavens! How did this important secret that only he, Gu Kai Lian and his grandson Kai Chang knew about, come to the knowledge of this outsider Fang Yuan? Gu Kai Chang was only AC grade talent, but for the sake of the Kai faction's benefits, Kai Lian had to take a risk and show a facade of Kai Chang being B grade. If this matter was exposed, its impact towards the Kai faction would be unforeseen. The Kai faction family head's integrity would be questioned for his cheating personally, and this would ruin his reputation completely. More importantly, the Kai faction inheritor is only AC grade. This means that the Kai faction would have no political outlook anymore. Who would be dumb enough to rely on this type of faction? Fang Yuan, knowing this secret, was equivalent to grasping the fatal weakness of the Kai faction. When Fang Yuan threatened him, Gu Kai Lian almost couldn't control himself from attacking and eliminating this threat on the spot. But he forcefully stopped himself, as he did not know who else got a hold of this secret, and whether Fang Yuan told anyone or left behind any paper evidence at some secret location. Pacify him first, understand the situation, then eliminate him. I cannot leave this threat hanging. That was his thought at the time. But soon after that, Fang Yuan displayed his rank 3 cultivation. Kai Lian, while shell-shocked, could only change his plan to cooperation. Rank 3 is a clan elder, and if he murdered a clan elder, this matter would just be as serious as cheating. Furthermore, fighting against a rank 3 GU master would take some time, and the commotion it creates is even harder to deal with. Falling out with Fang Yuan would not have any benefits for the Kai faction, in fact the risk was even greater. Although Fang Yuan has a hold on me, a shared secret is also a form of collaboration. Finally, Kai Lian could only convince himself to comfort his heart. Fang Yuan's threat was so sudden, so he could not tell how many safety nets Fang Yuan had in place, thus he could only go along with it. But now, Fang Yuan fearlessly implicated him, letting him attract the attention in Fang Yuan's place. It was really throwing him under the bus. However, even if Gu Kai Lian knew this, what could he do? This time, Fang Yuan slowly spoke again. Gu Yao Ji, I know your heart is in a mess now. Yes, that B-grade talent granddaughter of yours is dead, and without a proper corpse, your medicine faction is now without an inheritor. But AC-grade talent like myself advanced to rank 3 instead, so you feel anxious and indignant, thus your fury is directed at me. I understand that. What did you say? Gu Yao Ji stared widely, uncontrollable anger rising. You little wretch, I'm telling you Yaola is not dead. Fang Yuan laughed loudly, shrugging nonchalantly, her matter of life or death, what does it have to do with me? Yao Ji, you don't have to emphasize that. But, he suddenly twisted, Gu Yao Ji, in order to find your granddaughter, you assembled search parties and wasted much human and material resources. That concerns me, the clan elders here, and even the clan leader. Gu Yao Ji, letting you lead the medicine hall, that is because of our trust. But what have you done? You dispatched the medicine hall's healing GU masters out to search for your granddaughter, leaving those injured and crippled GU masters in distress. You are too selfish. Yao Li's sacrifice, it is indeed the clan's loss. But you further worsened our loss. You are not fit to be our medicine hall clan elder at all. Fang Yuan's words hit the nail on the head, tearing at Yao Ji's weakness, her pain. But what he said was very true. Upon hearing Fang Yuan's words, many clan elders started frowning secretly. Whose faction did not have injuries? Gu Yao Ji's actions were indeed overboard, dispatching GU masters on her own and not attending to the urgent business at hand, but instead searching for her granddaughter. Gu Yao Ji was so angry her body was trembling, her finger pointing to Fang Yuan, unable to say another word. Her eyes were like glowing fire, having a strong urge to strangle this bastard Fang Yuan on the spot. Fang Yuan's gaze was cold and indifferent, staring at her with no fear. He was returning the favor to her. Gu Yao Ji's earlier words were all righteous and caused the many clan elders to get curious about Fang Yuan's secret to advancing, causing a huge commotion. Fang Yuan's words were the same, and with reason backing him, standing at the highest point of the clan rules, it caused the clan elders to subconsciously defend him. To the clan elders, protecting the clan's rules were akin to protecting their own interests. Gu Yao Ji's actions these days did infringe on their interests. This Fang Yuan bastard. Fucking bastard. Gu Yao Ji shuddered, not knowing that Gu Kai Lian was also angered to the point of fuming. Fang Yuan was offending Gu Yao Ji to the limit, and her hatred towards him will also spill to the Kai faction since Fang Yuan was now a part of them. But the truth was, Kai faction is innocent. Was he, Gu Kai Lian, a fool? Why would he offend Gu Yaoji, who is the most senior and has the greatest social network? Gu Kai Lian subconsciously shrunk his body, praying in his heart, may the other clan elders not direct the attention to himself. Fang Yuan doing this is his own idea, it has nothing to do with the Kai faction. But Fang Yuan's next sentence broke this illusion of his to smithereens. He turned around and reported to the clan leader Gu Bo, "Clan leader, I highly doubt Gu Yaoji's ability to continue leading the medicine hall. I suggest we temporarily revoke her title of medicine hall clan elder and hold a thorough assessment of her. Each one of the clan's healing Gu masters are precious to us. We cannot let her waste them like this. Otherwise, the ones that suffer the most are the brave Gu masters that fight using their lives for our precious clan." Pausing momentarily, he continued, "This suggestion of mine, Elder Kai Lian is also very supportive of." What? Gu Yaoji's iris shrunk as her face changed colors. What? The clan elders were all taken aback. To hear of Gu Kai Lian's forthright attitude like this, does it mean that he was unhappy with Yaoji from long ago and has been lusting after the huge benefits in her possessions, wanting to get a piece of the pie? What? As the person in question, Gu Kai Lian nearly jumped from his seat. How could he not be angry? He was going to go crazy from Fang Yuan's antics. This Fang Yuan had not only offended Gu Yaoji, he even dragged him into the boat. His original political intent towards the medicine faction was closeness and cooperation. But now, his efforts were all thwarted by a single sentence from Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan was framing and harming him. In front of the person himself, framing, harming, and spreading false rumors. But he, Gu Kai Lian, the Grand Kai faction family head, was held hostage by Fang Yuan, and had no way to fight back. "Oh, Elder Kai Lian, you support this?" Gu Bo's gaze shone as he asked. Gu Kai Lian gritted his teeth, slowly getting up. He stiffened his neck, resisting the urge to look at Fang Yuan. He was afraid he could not control his rage. At this point, he can do nothing to Fang Yuan, and can only carry on the show. Revoking Yaoji's title, this is Fang Yuan's sole idea. With the threat of the wolf tide, suddenly changing people is not appropriate. However, I do agree that Elder Yaoji has deviated from the role of the healing Gu masters due to her personal feelings. If these efforts were placed into the right areas, it would reduce our clan's loss to a great extent. Saying so, his heart was bleeding. He would definitely not follow through with what Fang Yuan said, as he had his own interests in mind. These words, he had already exerted the greatest effort to find a balance between Fang Yuan and Yaoji. But even so, after he finished speaking, he heard a thump. He turned his head around and saw that Gu Yaoji had vomited blood out of her intense anger, and fell on her back. "It's over. I've completely offended Yaoji." At this moment, Gu Kai Lian felt like he had fallen into a chasm, his heart icy cold. "Lord Yaoji, someone, quickly diagnose her. She just lost consciousness, it's not an emergency." Lord Yaoji had not rested at all for these 3 days and 3 nights, her body and mind is exhausted and needs to rest. The hall was in a mess, but slowly quietened down. Gu Yaoji was carried away by a stretcher. She was already old, and had worried for so many days. With a weakened heart, now that she was triggered by both Fang Yuan and Kai Lian, adding on to her misery, it was no wonder that she fainted. Lord Yaoji had led the medicine hall for so many years, she had worked hard for so long, she is truly tired. Letting her rest is also for her own good. Now that she is unconscious, the medicine hall cannot be without a leader. "I advise that we let Fang Yuan take over," Gu Kai Lian suddenly said. This old man stood before his seat. Seeing Gu Yaoji being carried out, his eyes shone coldly. Since he had already offended her, then why not go the entire way and continue the mistake? To prevent the medicine faction's revenge, he might as well suppress them entirely. This is someone in power, the resolve and wisdom of an expert in politics. The hall fell into temporary silence. Yao Li's death, Yaoji's downfall, it showed that the medicine faction was on an imminent decline. The cruelty of politics is even more heartless than the wolf tide. Fang Yuan was silent as well. Letting him be the medicine hall clan elder, Gu Kai Lian was only saying it casually. Letting a newly advanced young clan elder to hold such an important role. Maybe if the clan elders and clan leader were all retarded. Gu Kai Lian saying this intentionally, had deep meaning. As expected, in the next moment, Gu Bo declared, the medicine hall's role shall temporarily be held by Elder Kai Zhang. Fang Yuan's cultivation has indeed reached rank 3, Thus according to the clan rules, he shall also assume the role of clan elder. Send out the news, and let the entire village rejoice." Saying so, Gu stood up and left. "Congratulations, congratulations." After the clan leader left, the clan elders all walked towards Fang Yuan, cupping their fists with faces full of smiles. Fang Yuan cupped his fists as well, replying with a warm smile. Chapter 155. Chapter 155, Borrow. "Congratulations, congratulations. Elder Fang Yuan is young and promising. You are definitely a role model for the young generation. Haha, we truly anticipate Elder Fang Yuan's brilliance as we work together from now on." The group of elders surrounded Fang Yuan and spoke customary words. The academy elder stood at the edge of the crowd, his expression complicated as he looked at Fang Yuan. He had never expected Fang Yuan to become an elder. In his class, he had been most optimistic of Fang Zheng, and then Kai Cheng and Mo Bei. But to think that the one who was the first to achieve success was actually Fang Yuan. How could these little achievements of mine compare to the elders? I still need to thank the clan's teachings for today's achievements. Academy elder, I have always engraved your words in my heart. Fang Yuan had a warm smile on, and he spoke modestly and prudently. The academy elder hadn't expected this punk to take the initiative to greet him. He was blank for a moment before a gratified expression appeared in his face. "Looks like you have matured a lot in these years, Elder Fang Yuan. Keep up the good work, I am proud of your achievements. The clan needs new blood like you." Fang Yuan sincerely thanked the academy elder again and also replied to the other elders. With his 500 years of experience, putting on such an act was very easy. He had a sense of propriety, his words were gentle and his attitude was humble, making all those who heard him feel like they were basking in spring breeze. Gu Kai Lian was indifferent at this scene, but the more he observed, the more frightened he became. This Fang Yuan knew how to deal with the situation adequately, and every sentence and word were as if spoken by a veteran. Was he really just in his teens? Could he be a born politician? The academy elder was astonished too. He thought of the academy times. Fang Yuan was so rebellious, even exploiting his own classmates. He had countless headaches due to this, but the current Fang Yuan seemed to have completely changed. On the contrary, Gu Mo Chen wasn't baffled by Fang Yuan's behavior. After all, he already had a taste of Fang Yuan's schemes. Right now, as he looked at Fang Yuan's cultured and gentle behavior, becoming a focal point of the crowd, he kept on sighing that Gu Kai Lian had made a great move. The exchanges continued on for some time. But, regardless of what thoughts the elders had, the ones present there couldn't help but look at Fang Yuan in a new light. They continuously sighed that rumors were really unreliable. In the end, Fang Yuan tactfully rejected some of the elders' invitations and left the clan head pavilion with a smile together with Gu Kai Lian. "HMPH, are you satisfied now? After pulling down Gu Yaoji, you even dragged my Kai faction into hot water." When they reached the study room, Kai Lian couldn't pretend anymore, and the smile on his face was replaced by fury. Fang Yuan was sitting in front of him and leisurely smiled. "You need to thank me for this. Gu Yaoji is down, this is a great benefit to your Kai faction." Gu Kai Lian's gaze flashed. "HMPH, young man, your thoughts are too simple. Kai Zhang is my Kai faction's member but his wife is of Yao faction. The clan head appointed him as the temporary medicine hall elder precisely because he wants to balance out the internal strife between my Kai and Yao faction. How did you find out about Kai Cheng's matter?" At the end, Gu Kai Lian suddenly asked this. He closely watched Fang Yuan with a gaze like that of an eagle's. Fang Yuan unconcernedly shrugged his shoulders and said, "Old man, I don't have much primeval stones on me left, give me 3,000 primeval stones." Bang! Gu Kai Lian fiercely slammed the table, he lowered his voice and roared, "Fang Yuan! Don't even think that you can extort my Kai faction just by knowing that secret. I am old and don't have long to live, so at worst I will just give up my life. HMPH, I can accept cooperating, but I will absolutely not receive any threats. I won't allow what happened today to happen again. If you recklessly make enemies and pull my Kai faction into your mess, you will regret it. You really think that secret can destroy my whole Kai faction? Hey, don't be so naive." Fang Yuan didn't reply, his gaze was ghostly as he let Gu Kai Lian continue to berate him. When Gu Kai Lian had slammed the table, his aura was astonishing like that of a tiger, but as he continued to speak, his aura started getting weaker and in the end, he appeared to be in deficiency of energy, showing a lack of confidence. Only when he no longer spoke did Fang Yuan leisurely smile and say, "Old man, don't get so angry. I am indeed short of money recently, and I am not asking these 3,000 primeval stones for free, I am just borrowing them. I can even sign the receipt for loan. Gu Kai Lian snorted. He spoke slowly, you won't lack primeval stones, you have just become an elder and don't know the preferential treatment the clan gives to the elders. As long as you are an elder, you will receive 100 primeval stones every week. This is the amount you receive in ordinary times, but as this is the time of the wolf tide, you will receive 300 primeval stones as allowance. Not only that, you can also freely take a rank 3 Gu worm. Similarly, the clan's rank 1 to rank 3 recipes will be open to you. You can choose any recipe that you like and refine your rank 3 Gu worm. There are also other privileges, for example, ordinary Gu masters can only marry one wife, but an elder can have one wife and 2 concubines. So that's it. Fang Yuan knew this of course, but he pretended it was the first time he heard it. But even if it is so, I still want to borrow 3,000 primeval stones. You also know that I just advanced to rank 3. Refining a rank 3 Gu worm consumes a great amount of primeval stones, Fang Yuan, sincerely, said. Gu Kai Lian reflected on this. He pondered, with Fang Yuan's identity as an elder, he wouldn't go so far as to not pay his debt. Does he not want his reputation? If in case he dies in the wolf tide, then wouldn't my 3,000 primeval stones go in waste? Wait, won't it be better if he dies? We can continue to hide the matter regarding Kai Cheng's aptitude. But how did he learn this secret? Is there still anyone else who knows of it? I had better lend the money to him first and lower his guard, then I can probe his secret. As he thought up to this point, Gu Kai Lian didn't insist anymore and immediately took out a brush and paper. Fang Yuan wrote the receipt for loan and signed with his fingerprint. Gu Kai Lian called his butler and gave some orders. Soon, several money bags full of primeval stones were brought over. Fang Yuan weighed each money bag and didn't find any problems. He truly needed these primeval stones. He had almost spent all his savings in refining the man-beast life burial Gu. These 3,000 primeval stones could be considered a timely assistance. He had just advanced to rank 3. He needed to refine a rank 3 Gu worm. Only then could he truly possess the battle and survival ability of a rank 3 Gu master. He already had a rough plan regarding this. 3,000 primeval stones might not be enough. However, it wasn't urgent, and the Kai faction would be his great money farm. The primeval stones he borrowed this time was only the start. If it happened once, it will happen twice. First time is difficult, but subsequently gets easier. As for paying the debt, Fang Yuan wasn't in a hurry to leave after getting these primeval stones, but instead smiled, I still want to borrow something. Don't go overboard. Gu Kai Lian was grim, but in the end, he still said, speak, what is it? Cleansing water Gu, Fang Yuan's eyes narrowed as he said candidly. There was a cleansing water Gu on sale previously in the caravan, and if you consider who was most likely to purchase this Gu, it would be Gu Kai Lian. He used his own primeval essence to nurture his grandson's aperture and advance his cultivation. This led to there being mixed auras in the aperture, which needed to be purified by the cleansing water Gu. That is impossible, Gu Kai Lian firmly refused. He indeed bought that cleansing water Gu, but he prepared this Gu for his grandson Gu Kai Cheng. If he wanted to buy it again, he could only rely on fate. Don't refuse me so fast. Fang Yuan laughed, I believe you, Lord Gu Kai Lian, the head of Kai faction, know which is more important, a cleansing water Gu or Kai faction's reputation. Gu Kai Lian's face darkened completely, the aura around him turning cold as he fiercely looked at Fang Yuan, gnashing his teeth. Fang Yuan, know what you are trying to do. You are blackmailing me, blackmailing the head of the Grand Kai faction. No, this is not a blackmail, it is a discussion. I am only borrowing the cleansing water Gu and will return you a new one in the future. I can sign the receipt of loan for this too, Fang Yuan chuckled. However, his tone was firm and it showed his determined will. Don't even imagine it. Kai Lian's attitude was also firm. After an hour, Fang Yuan walked out of the Kai family manor with 3,000 primeval stones and a cleansing water Gu. And Gu Kai Lian was sitting in the study room, looking at the 2 receipts, written by Fang Yuan, on the table. The indignance in his heart was like a surging river, overflowing endlessly. Fang Yuan had a hold on Kai faction which put Kai Lian in an extremely passive situation, thus his victory was reasonable. 3 days later, Fang Yuan sat cross-legged on the bed, white light shining upon his face. A white ball of light was floating in midair, the fusion process had reached its end stage. Fang Yuan used his consciousness to maintain the ball of light while throwing primeval stones into it. The ball of light suddenly faded away and a whole new GU worm flew into Fang Yuan's palm. Its appearance was like a big ladybug. Its semicircular milky white carapace was decorated with dark spots. It was quite big, about the size of an adult's fist. Rank 3 Sky Canopy GU. I've finally succeeded. Fang Yuan satisfiedly nodded his head. This was his second time trying this fusion. The Sky Canopy GU was refined from the fusion of rank 2 White Jade GU and an Aqua Defense GU. In the first try, Fang Yuan used the Water Shield GU and White Jade GU. But the fusion ended up a failure, resulting in the death of the Water Shield GU. The Aqua Defense GU he used this time had been exchanged with his battle merits. However, this Sky Canopy GU wasn't Fang Yuan's first rank 3 GU worm. His first rank 3 GU worm was directly obtained from the clan. After advancing to rank 3 and becoming an elder, the clan would bestow them with a rank 3 GU worm. Fang Yuan used this chance to pick a Thunderwings GU. This GU was gotten as spoils of war after the elders had killed a frenzy lightning wolf. Its ability was to materialize a pair of Thunderwings and give GU masters the ability to fly for a short duration. With the Thunderwings GU to assist with movements, Fang Yuan's final combat shortcoming was fixed. Chapter 156. Chapter 156. Digital Shade Recipe, Flower Wine Mystery. Lord Fang Yuan, this way towards the secret room, please enter. In the dark eerie tunnel, a rank 2 old GU master walked in front, leading the way for Fang Yuan. The secret room that held all the GU worm combination recipes of the clan was not far ahead. Fang Yuan advanced to rank 3, thus his status had a 180-degree change. All the fusion recipes kept in the clan, as long as they were not rank 4 or 5 recipes, he had the authority to look through. If it was a rank 1 or 2 GU master, to look through the recipes, they would need to pay primeval stones or exchange using merit points. This secret room was in the basement of the village, at a very hidden location. Even if the village was eradicated, this secret room would still remain. Back then, the GUU clan's creator, the first-generation clan leader, found a primeval essence spring inside this underground cave, thus deciding to build his village here. Through the generations of development and growth by the clan leaders, GUU clan's underground cave had become the GUU clan secret base. Normally, ordinary GU masters did not have the rights to appear at this location. Only clan elders, the clan leader, and the Dark Hall's GU masters in charge of protecting the place had such authority. Many GU masters had only been there once in their lives. That is during the awakening ceremony, where the youngsters would come to the primeval spring sea, hoping to awaken their aperture. Other than this, unless there is a special reason, entry to this underground cave is prohibited for all people. Even the GU master guarding the place is picked after careful consideration. After all, the primeval spring in this underground cave is the entire foundation of the GUU village. From the spring center, large amounts of primeval stones are produced, and that sustains the GU master cultivation of the entire clan. In the tunnel, 2 sets of footsteps could be heard. Far away, the sound of river water flowing sounded, that is the underground river in the cave. A moment later, the GU master leading the way brought Fang Yuan to a rock door. He patted his belly, and a GU worm flew out of his aperture. As sparks flied, it knocked onto the rock door. The rock door's surface rippled, like a rock thrown into the water. Soon after, the rock wall blinked and gradually faded away, showing the secret room behind. The secret room's size was rather small, being only 666 2/3 square meters. Every few steps, there would be a rock table half the height of a person. Tens of rock tables had a white jade plate on them, and on the plate there was a GU worm silently resting. These GU worms had all sorts of colors, being around the size of a fist, they had very similar appearances, like silkworms. On its head, there were 2 compound eyes like bees or dragonflies, it was colorful and looked like shiny glass. However, the surface was not soft, but covered in a layer of insect shell, and the shell even had golden luster. Lord Fang Yuan, this is your first time to the secret room, so let me explain. These are rank 2 digital shade GU, all have recipes recorded in them. In the green digital shade GU worms, almost all the rank 1 recipes can be found in them. As for the red-black colored GU, there are rank 2 recipes. White contains the rank 3 recipes, and orange has the rank 4 recipes. As for rank 5, it is contained in the most central purple digital shade GU worms. Beside him, the old GU master introduced appropriately. Digital shade GU was a recording type of GU worm. Just one step further in advancement, and it would be the rank 3 photo audio GU. After the photo audio GU is refined, it not only can store a recording, but can also record the voices as well. In the Rock Crack Secret Cave, the Flower Wine Monk used a photo audio GU to inform Fang Yuan of the inheritance details. But to record down recipes, voices are not necessary, thus the digital shade GU is enough. Fusion recipes, these were very precious. Using normal bamboo paper to record them, if they were stolen, not only can they refine the GUU clan's specialty GU worms, it is also a huge leak of the clan's information. Knowing the enemy leads to easier battles, and experienced GU masters can learn about the strengths and weaknesses of a GU worm from the refinement recipe. Once it is leaked, towards a clan the loss would be severe. In future when they battle, the GU masters from that clan may also be disadvantaged in GU worms. Thus, recipes were strictly controlled, and is classified by ranks, stored appropriately. Digital shade GU was easier to refine and had a low cost, thus it was a common method to contain recipes. Lord Fang Yuan, these digital shade GU all belong to the Secret Hall clan elder. But it would not impede you from using primeval essence and browsing through. Just that with your current identity, you cannot browse the rank 4 and 5 recipes. There's also 2 more things. The secret room is the clan's red zone, your every action here is observed fully in secret. Every day, you can only stay here for 15 minutes. Once the time is up, you must leave, the GU master continued speaking. I understand. Fang Yuan nodded. Lord Fang Yuan, this subordinate has no authority to enter, thus I will wait at the door. Once the time is up, I will bring you out, the old man bowed. Fang Yuan walked into the secret room. Once he entered, the rock door turned from virtual to solid, trapping him in the room alone. Walking in the secret room, it was peaceful. The echoes of his footsteps could be heard bouncing off the walls as the surrounding walls had water light GU in them. Their bodies emitted a light, wavering like water, interchanging between light and shadow, with layers after layers shining indefinitely. Fang Yuan took a red-black colored GU worm and injected his white-silver primeval essence inside. Immediately 2 beams of light shot out from the digital shade goose compound eyes. He raised the GU up, and pointed the eyes at the white jade plate on the table. 2 beams of light hit the white jade plate, and after some fluctuations, words started to appear. This was the recipe on how to refine the Moonscar GU. First it listed the Moonscar Goose strengths, which was the increase in attack distance, twice of the Moonlight GU. The weakness was the subpar attack. Next was the refinement recipe. Moonscar GU is refined from fusing the Moonlight GU and Scar Rock GU. Next is the important points for refining this GU. The crux was, if during the refinement, some jade rock is added in, or done during a night when there is abundant moonlight and exposed to it, there would be a higher chance of success. Lastly, it is the experiences of the GU masters who had attempted to fuse this GU. This had the greatest content, almost up to 10,000 words. Fang Yuan took a look and memorized some things to heart. It was after all countless people's experiments and tries, and the experience gathered from numerous attempts. Some information, even Fang Yuan did not know. After all, Moonlight GU is a unique GU to the GUU clan. In his previous life, he had never become a clan elder or came here to browse the recipes. Time was limited, so Fang Yuan quickly took a look and placed the digital shade GU back to its spot, then picked up a white-colored GU to observe. In the white digital shade GU, there was the rank 3 fusion recipes. Most of the recipes did not suit Fang Yuan, as they needed GU worms like Moonwhirl or Moonscar GU as the base. Fang Yuan did not look through closely. To save time, he skimmed through. He first used the Moonlight GU to fuse with the Little Light GU to form Moonglow GU. On that basis, there was only 3 refinement recipes worth using. First was the rank 3 Golden Moon, with the same 10 steps of shooting distance, but the attack power is increased once again. Once shot out, the golden-colored crescent moon would nearly be half a man tall, and had a strong imposing aura. Second was the Frost Moon GU. The moonblade becomes eerie white and icy, having an element of ice to it. Whoever it hurts will be invaded by the coldness, moving slowly. The third is the Illusory Moon GU. This GU was more unique. It is not used to attack, but once activated, it can allow the GU master to create a shadow clone to attract attacks and confuse the enemy. Especially when this Illusory Moon GU, once refined, can be used as the basis for the rank 4 Moonshadow GU. Moonshadow GU can be implanted into a GU master's aperture and suppress them from using primeval essence. In the information on the Illusory Moon GU, there was only some vaguely explained information about the Moon Shadow GU, as reference. Moon Shadow GU isn't that the GU worm used by the 4th generation clan leader to sneak an attack on the flower wine monk. Fang Yuan, seeing this, frowned deeply. In this world, there are countless GU worms, and even with his 500 years of experience, he only knew less than 0.001% of all the GU worms in this world. He originally had a rough idea of the Moon Shadow GU, but now that he knew the GU worm's effect, suspicion rose in his heart. Moon Shadow GU had a unique use. It was able to suppress 30% of the primeval essence in a rank 4 GU master's aperture, 15% of a rank 5, and 60% of a rank 3 GU master. That means, with AC grade talent like Fang Yuan, only having 40 to 50%, if they were hit by this Moon Shadow GU, they would be unable to deploy a single ounce of primeval essence, losing all their battle strength and were as good as crippled. Of course, if it were Fang Yuan, if the Moon Shadow GU was used on him, it would be throwing a meat bun at the dog. What's gone can never come back. That is because once the Moon Shadow GU enters his aperture, the spring-autumn cicada will demonstrate its dominance, and under its aura, the Moon Shadow GU would be instantly refined by him, and become his. What puzzled Fang Yuan was not the Moon Shadow GU's effect, but the flower wine monk. I remember that on the shadow wall, the flower wine monk was bathed in blood, full of injuries. Firstly, his battle with the 4th generation clan leader and elders only gave him mild injuries. I thought those severe injuries were caused by this Moon Shadow GU, but to think that this Moon Shadow GU was only used to suppress primeval essence, crippling the GU master. Then where did the flower wine monk get his severe injuries from? Fang Yuan's thoughts were meticulous, thus becoming more suspicious. Back then, when the flower wine monk lost to the clan elders and escaped, what actually happened? Moon Shadow GU was not the cause of his death. So then, what was? At once, the originally clear flower wine monk inheritance became a complete mystery to Fang Yuan again. Lord Fang Yuan, it has been 15 minutes, I believe you have had some gains. No matter what, please come again tomorrow. At this point, the door turned into an astral state again, as the old GU master stood outside and said respectfully. Okay. Fang Yuan's gaze shone as he put down the digital shadow GU, leaving the secret room. Regardless of whether it is the golden moon, frost moon, or illusory moon, these refinement recipes were not what he wanted. That is because they all consumed large amounts of moon orchid flower petals. Moon orchid flower petals were hard to store, only able to live for a few days. In Fang Yuan's plans, he wanted to leave the GUU clan and roam the world. If he refined these GU, without any food they would die in half a year. He might as well not refine them. However, there were still rank 3 recipes that he did not manage to see. I'll come again tomorrow, I guess. Such a thought flashed across his mind. Chapter 157. Chapter 157, Blood Moon GU. Second day, secret room. On the shiny white jade plate, there was a recipe. Blood Moon GU, using rank 2 Moonglow GU and Blood Essence GU to combine and form the rank 3 GU worm. Once activated, the Moonblade glows blood red, with the size of a face. If one gets injured by it, there would be a continuous bleeding effect. That's it. Fang Yuan's gaze swept through the information and memorized this recipe at heart. Then he closed his eyes and recited again, and opened his eyes to check. After several times, he checked that he had completely memorized this recipe in his heart, with no margin of error. Compared to the Golden Moon, Frost Moon and Illusionary Moon GU, the 3 classics, this Blood Moon GU was much more unorthodox. The former 3's refinement recipes had almost 100,000 words of refinement experience. But this Blood Moon GU barely had a few thousand. It can be seen that through history, GU masters who chose this Blood Moon GU were rare. The Blood Moon GU's attacking capability was average. It only had a 10-meter range, and even the bleeding effect after attacking isn't optimal. GU masters from rank 1 to 5 had limited primeval essence, and could not sustain for a long battle to decide the victor. A bleeding effect, in the real battlefield, was only a small problem. Against a GU master experienced in healing, they could even have the ability to counter this. Furthermore, the Blood Moon GU had the biggest flaw. Every few days of the month, it would ooze fresh blood out. The blood would flow uncontrollably, and during this period, its attack power would be reduced to a third of the original. But it had the greatest advantage that Fang Yuan liked. It was easy to feed. Much easier than the Golden Moon, Frost Moon and Illusionary Moon. The food it needed was no longer moon orchid flower petals, but fresh blood. Although the blood required was a lot, it was not limited to one type. In the western desert it might be a problem, but the southern border had all sorts of wild beasts in its forested and mountainous areas. Killing them would allow easy extraction of blood. To the Blood Moon GU, its food was all over the southern border, everywhere. Next, all I have to do is refine this Blood Moon GU. Fang Yuan decided in his heart. The refinement steps, as well as things to take note of, were all memorized by him. In his hand, there was already the Moonglow GU, but the Blood Essence GU was slightly harder to get a hold of. The Blood Essence GU was precious, being able to replenish the blood of a GU master. Those GU masters with it were always energetic, and even if they got injured and lost a lot of blood, they could replenish it easily. Thus, their survivability in battle was much higher than others. Shang Zhong once desired a Blood Essence GU badly. If the Blood Essence GU was paired up with the roaming zombie GU, it would greatly reduce the side effects. It would allow him to be a zombie for a longer period without any worries for backlashes. He was already a well-to-do rank 2 GU master, and had a rather high position, but until he died, he did not get his wish fulfilled. In the secret room, Fang Yuan looked at the digital shade GU on the rock tables again. There was still ample time today. Out of the 15 minutes, he only used 5 minutes, so there was still 10 minutes left. The yellow digital shade GU recorded the rank 4 recipes. The purple digital shade GU recorded rank 5 recipes. The owner of these digital shade GU had always been the generations of each secret hall clan elder. But the one responsible for feeding them is the clan. GU worms can be borrowed, as long as the will on the GU worms concedes to it. The will in the digital shade GU is one with the secret hall clan elder. Fang Yuan, as a newly advanced clan elder, is recognized by the secret hall clan elder, thus he can freely use a portion of the digital shade GU. But the secret hall clan elder does not think Fang Yuan has the authority to browse the rank 4 and 5 recipes, thus the yellow and purple digital shade GU, even if he used primeval essence, there would not be any reaction. The truth is, even if it's a wild natural GU worm, it is possible to gain their recognition as well. Those beast kings are like this, thus able to borrow the GU worm's ability. Among humans, such situations occur as well, like the story of the rank 5 river swallowing toad and Zhang Fan. Of course, Fang Yuan could rely on the spring-autumn cicada's aura to refine these GU worms and obtain the recipes, that was definitely possible. But the consequences of doing that is something Fang Yuan cannot handle yet. The benefits involved is not sufficient for him to act either. Actually, the most precious recipe is not these rank 4 or 5 recipes, but how to reverse engineer a Moonlight GU. This GU originated from the first-generation clan leader, and on that basis, after hundreds of years, developed into such a scale and structure, Fang Yuan thought. GU fusion is to turn low-ranking GU worms into higher-ranking ones, while reverse fusion is to turn the high-ranking GU worms back to their lower forms. Between rising and falling, because of different processes, what is obtained can be entirely different GU worms. The Moonlight GU is not a natural GU worm, but something gotten from reverse fusion by the first-generation clan leader. The GU worms in this world were mostly new species created by many GU masters on the basis of natural GU worms. Thus, even with Fang Yuan's 500 years of experience, he still had limited knowledge of the entire GU worm ecology. And for the clan, they would definitely have one or a few unique GU worms. These GU worms were not the rare natural species, but a new species created through reverse fusion. On this basis, GU masters can develop a strength unique to their clan. GUU clan's Moonlight GU, Shang clan's Bear Strength GU, Bai clan's Stream GU, these were all the same. If they used a common and well-known GU worm, they would be easy to deal with, and easily targeted. A clan's foundation lies in the primeval spring, as it can produce primeval stones. Next is a unique GU worm that can prevent one's strength from being completely deciphered. Lastly, it is bloodline. Bloodline and kinship are an important chain that ties a clan together. Thus, don't look down on the rank 1 Moonlight GU, the worth of its reverse fusion recipe is far greater than rank 4 or 5 recipes. The recipe to reverse fuse the Moonlight GU is normally kept by the clan leader. Other than the clan leader, the most loyal clan elder of that generation would also know the recipe's secret. At the same time, the Moonlight GU recipe's digital shade GU is also hidden appropriately. Fang Yuan could obviously not obtain the recipe from this secret room. This recipe's value is very high, thus if I can obtain it before I leave, that would naturally be the best. But I do not have to force it. Fang Yuan was very plain about this matter. For starters, he was not planning to create an organization or force. The Moonlight Goose recipe to him was not a necessity. However, the Blood Moon GU and the other rank 3 recipes are what I need. Although Fang Yuan was rank 3 now and had white-silver primeval essence, not all his GU worms were rank 3, thus he could not display the true fighting power of a rank 3 GU master. I have the Thunderwings GU and Sky Canopy GU, so if I manage to refine the Blood Moon GU, I will have 3 rank 3 GU worms. But that is nowhere near enough. Ordinary GU masters can rely on the clan. With the cooperation of their clansmen, as well as ample resources, they only needed 3 to 4 GU worms. But Fang Yuan wanted to roam the southern border and leave his homeland, thus he needed at least 6 GU worms to deal with all situations. With his experience, the 6 GU worms had to be attack, defense, healing, storage, recon and movement, 6 attributes to provide him ample support. For attack, the Blood Moon GU barely qualifies. For defense he has the Sky Canopy GU. Movement-wise, even though the Thunderwings GU uses a lot of primeval essence, it can allow temporary flight and is very powerful. For healing, the 9-leaf Vitality Grass is slightly weak. It is after all a rank 2 GU, and even the advancement option is not satisfactory to Fang Yuan. The rank 2 9-leaf Vitality Grass did not have outstanding healing abilities. Its only advantage was creating the rank 1 Vitality Leaves, and from selling that, Fang Yuan can get a continuous supply of primeval stones, akin to a money tree. But thereafter, Fang Yuan is going to travel to places where there are no inhabitants, so even if he creates the Vitality Leaves, no GU masters would buy them using primeval stones. For recon, Earth Communication Eargrass had a huge range, so even as a rank 2, it was still usable. For storage, Fang Yuan had no such GU. This was, however, the GU of the utmost importance. This is because after he starts traveling alone, the supplies are the most important. It can single-handedly become the basis of the other 5 categories. Storing food to feed the GU worms, his own food, and storing primeval stones. Without primeval stones, GU master lose the power to cultivate. On this matter, Fang Yuan had no progress. Before he obtains a satisfactory storage type GU worm, he will not leave the village. GU worms for storage, the first condition is a wide utility, able to store food and primeval stones. Next, they have to be easy to feed, and lastly, it is best if they have the ability to prolong the expiry date of the items stored. But even in the resource board of the 3 clans, there is no GU worm that I like. It seems I can only make use of the Kai faction and squeeze out the last of their savings. Once 15 minutes was up, Fang Yuan walked out of the tunnel as he continued to ponder. Lord Fang Yuan, hello. A middle-aged GU master stood outside, specifically waiting for Fang Yuan. You are. The person smiled. I am Gu Kai Zhang, the current acting Medicine Hall clan elder. So that's him, Fang Yuan realized, starting a close inspection of this person. Gu Kai Zhang had a proper appearance with a squarish face, and he showed an aura of stability. Similar to Fang Yuan, he was also a clan elder, but his cultivation was rank 3 middle stage. After Fang Yuan caused Gu Yaoji to faint, Gu Kai Zhang had been ordered to temporarily lead the medicine hall, and his wife was an important member of the medicine faction, thus this was Gu Bo's political approach to balance the 2 factions' rivalry. But no matter what, Gu Kai Zhang still managed to ascend to this role. This is 300 primeval stones, the payout to the clan elders for this week. I know that you are here, thus I brought this over as well. I hope you do not mind me taking matters into my own hands, Gu Kai Zhang said, handing a money bag to Fang Yuan. This man, Fang Yuan squinted, taking the bag. The clan elders' payout needed to be collected by the clan elder themselves. But Gu Kai Zhang could collect it for him, so in some ways, this was hinting to Fang Yuan his status in the clan as well as his social network. But this hint was also well timed, as it showed a sign of goodwill, and was not aggressive. To speak the truth, I took the initiative to find Lord Fang Yuan this time, because I have a matter to ask of you. Soon after, he went straight to the topic and mentioned his intention. Oh, you want me to turn in the 9-leaf Vitality Grass? Fang Yuan showed a deep profound expression. Chapter 158. Chapter 158, Times have changed. Gu Yaoji had longed after Fang Yuan's 9-leaf Vitality Grass, and thus, she exploited her authority to set a policy for the transfer of 9-leaf Vitality Grass. However, Fang Yuan advanced to rank 3 and became an elder, responding with a powerful counterattack which caused Gu Yaoji to faint on the spot and let Gu Kai Zhang take the stage. A new officer in power has to display his authority. Jiu Kai Zhang took the initiative to find Fang Yuan and persuade him to hand over the 9-leaf vitality grass. Handing over the 9-leaf vitality grass, it's not that it cannot be done, Fang Yuan said after muttering to himself for a bit. There was a saying, what was true then isn't true now. And now, the situation was different from before. Previously, Jiu Yaoji wanted Fang Yuan to hand over the 9-leaf vitality grass. That was an order, you had to hand it over whether you wanted to or not. However, Fang Yuan was already an elder now and his status was equal to Jiu Yaoji and others, and only lower than clan leader Jiu Bo. Thus, Jiu Kai Zhang asking Fang Yuan to hand over the 9-leaf vitality grass was not an order, but instead it was a type of transaction with equal benefits. 9-leaf vitality grass was indeed very precious. With its ability to produce vitality leaves, it was by itself a micro-scale source of revenue and was in high demand. Fang Yuan was now raising many GU worms and a large part of their food expenses was supported solely by it. However, this world didn't have anything that couldn't be sold. It was only a matter of the profits being too small to move the heart. 9-leaf vitality grass was precious, but if an appropriate price was provided, why couldn't it be sold? GU worms were only tools, methods to achieve one's desires and ambitions. So what if it was the spring-autumn cicada? As long as the circumstances were suitable, why couldn't one give it up to exchange for an even larger benefit? If one wants to obtain benefits, they need to learn to give up first. Naturally, Fang Yuan had the awareness of this and looked at Jiu Kai Zhang. Jiu Kai Zhang understood and smiled. If sire is willing to hand over the 9-leaf vitality grass, I will willingly compensate you with this command token. Saying so, he took out a token. This token's design was simple, it was triangular shaped with smooth corners. There were words written on the front, pilling up in a pyramid shape, prize token, similarly on the back said, reward contributions. Prize token, reward contributions. Sire is a newly promoted elder, and may not be clear on some matters. This prize token is issued to the GU masters who have made great contributions to the clan. Even among elders, few possess it. With this token, you can go down to the clan's underground GU cave and choose any GU worm you like. The underground cave holds many rare, precious GU worms. Among the top 10 GU worms in the exchange board, 4 of them have been selected from the underground GU cave, Jiu Kai Zhang explained. Fang Yuan was instantly moved. He wasn't surprised about this, for GU clan had stood high for centuries and it was impossible for there not to be any trump cards and accumulations. In fact, any long-established clan would also have secret places to store GU like the GU underground cave. But to obtain such GU worms, one needed to have made great contributions and also should be loyal to the clan. Fang Yuan only recently became an elder, so he was very far away from having such qualifications. I want to leave the clan, so I need a storage GU. This token is a good choice, but Fang Yuan had some worries. If he had to give up the 9-leaf vitality grass, so be it. It was a great help to Fang Yuan, but he wouldn't have any use for it in the future. Its healing ability was not outstanding and one couldn't continuously use the vitality leaves to heal. Fang Yuan's worry was that there might not necessarily be his ideal GU worm in the GU underground cave. Jiu Kai Zhang had been observing Fang Yuan's expression and he misunderstood the latter's hesitation, saying, the underground cave holds not only rank 3 GU worms but also rank 4. Elder Fang Yuan, you won't be at a disadvantage. But, if somehow you regret it, we could re-exchange them. That can be done after some time, secretly. Fang Yuan raised his eyes, unable to refrain from looking at Kai Zhang again. This is an outstanding guy, he sighed inwardly. A new officer in power has to display his authority. Kai Zhang clearly understood why he was promoted. He had to strike a balance with not only the clan leader but also Kai and medicine faction. And at the same time, he needed to display his ability. Fang Yuan transferring the 9-leaf vitality grass over, held a special significance to him and he was willing to pay a high price for it. The world is vast, countless outstanding talents are everywhere. Under the wolf tide, the old-timers are being sacrificed and newcomers are advancing. From a certain point, this can also be said to be a reform which allows the clan to preserve its vitality and stand high without falling, Fang Yuan thought inwardly. Too many old-timers will only create a rotting organization. Thus the process of elimination is the only way for an organization to continue working. Jiu Kai Zhang was a representative of this. The world was all about the survival of the fittest. A human body continues to live through the process of metabolism. A GU master shouldn't stick with the same GU worms, only with change could they progress. At this thought, Fang Yuan accepted the token from Jiyu Kaizhong and then handed over the 9-leaf vitality grass. As he had transferred it himself, Kaizhong could quickly refine the 9-leaf vitality grass. Only after keeping this grass Jiyu into his aperture did he let out a big sigh of relief. He had his own ambitions, and being able to act as the temporary medicine hall elder was an extremely important opportunity to him. If he could grasp this, he might even assume the official post instead of temporary. However, he would have to make compromises with the three sides if he wanted to achieve this. After all, politics was an art of compromising. Yao Ji couldn't do anything to Fang Yuan while she was reigning. But after taking the seat, he was able to get Fang Yuan to hand over his 9-leaf vitality grass. This not only showed goodwill to the medicine faction, being able to handle the political matters left behind by Yao Ji and subtly display his own ability. Thus, he didn't hesitate to give up the prize token which he had got with great difficulty. Lord Kaizhong, it's really delightful to chat with you. I wonder if you still have some time now? Fang Yuan asked as he stored the token. Jiyu Kaizhong's eyes flashed, he was puzzled. After a while. In a hall, we pay respects to the two elders. Fang Yuan's uncle and aunt bowed and greeted. They were very respectful and even a little afraid. After the news of Fang Yuan becoming an elder was announced, he became a model example for young Jiyu masters, whereas it brought astonishment and panic to the uncle and aunt pair. He was clearly a C-grade talent, how could he advance to rank 3 and become an elder so fast? Even Jiyu Fang Zheng, who was an A-grade talent, was only at rank 2 upper stage currently. After the astonishment was fear. They couldn't help but be afraid. When they thought of how they had bullied and been so hard on Fang Yuan, their hearts trembled with fear. What goes around comes back around. It was not the same once he had an elder's identity. They were afraid of Fang Yuan taking revenge on them after achieving success. But still, in the end Fang Yuan came to their door, and also brought another elder with him. They came with bad intentions, bad intentions. Jiyu Dongtu sighed in his heart. Fang Yuan chuckled, uncle, aunt, no need to be so courteous. Although I have become an elder, I am still your nephew. Come, let's all take a seat. Saying so, he sat down on the main seat. Jiyu Kaizhong sat beside him. These two positions were usually where uncle and aunt sat, the seats of the family heads. Uncle and aunt, however, weren't the least bit discontent with the seatings. They were even full of hesitation and fearful when sitting in the lower seats. This was the power of the clan elders. Uncle and aunt glanced at each other, they were on tenterhooks as they sat stiffly, only sitting near the edge of the chairs. The servants came in with some tea. Jiyu Kaizhong maintained his silence and didn't drink. Fang Yuan, however, took a sip calmly and asked, how has uncle and aunt been these days? Fang Yuan was smiling as he asked, but in uncle and aunt's eyes it felt even more terrifying than him flying into a rage. It was especially so for aunt. When she thought of how she had insulted Fang Yuan, she started trembling with fear. Sigh, life had been in upheaval due to the wolf tide. The tavern was forced to close down and the rent of the bamboo houses has been decreasing. In fact, we are so poor that we're reaching the point of starvation, uncle said, and then tears fell down from his eyes unexpectedly. He used to maintain his health very well before, but now his face was no longer ruddy, while the hair near his temples had gone white and the wrinkles on his face had increased. His predicament was even more obvious due to the forceful enlistment. However, Fang Yuan knew his uncle had managed the tavern for many years, so he definitely had some savings. The miserable appearance he was putting on now was because he was afraid of Fang Yuan's revenge, and wanted to use his pathetic look to gain Fang Yuan's sympathy. Uncle is usually so astute, but how could he be so stupid when the matter involves himself? If I had come to take revenge, why would I bring Jiyu Kaizhong with me? Fang Yuan sneered in his mind. He greatly disliked and had no respect towards his uncle and aunt, but this didn't mean they had no use. Uncle, aunt, you have taken good care of me for so long, all my current accomplishments are due to your nurturing. I have just received the elder payout from the clan, these 300 primeval stones, please take them. Saying so, Fang Yuan handed the money bag to uncle. What, this? Jiyu Dongtu's expression was really wonderful at this moment. His astonishment contained unease, the unease was close to fear, and under the fear was incredulousness. Aunt, who was at the side, was also dumbstruck as she blankly looked at the money bag in Fang Yuan's hand. What in the world was going on? There was none of the revenge they had imagined, but instead, they were being gifted 300 primeval stones. Fang Yuan's words were ear-piercing, no matter how they looked at it. The words, taken good care, and nurturing, were full of sarcasm, which made them feel the whole situation was even more bizarre. What is he scheming? What the heck does he want to do? How does he want to torment us? Uncle and aunt glanced at each other. Both were hesitating and didn't dare to receive the money bag. It is Elder Fang Yuan's filial piety, do accept it, Gu Kai Zhang expressionlessly spoke from his seat. Yes, yes, yes. Uncle repeatedly nodded his head and hurriedly accepted the money bag. Even if he was called the hidden elder, that was nothing in front of the medicine hall elder. He used both hands to hold the bag full of 300 primeval stones. He normally loved money, but right now, he felt like the money bag was scalding hot and wanted to immediately throw it. Since Uncle has received it, I will take my leave, Fang Yuan said and started leaving. Uncle and aunt immediately tried to see them off, but were stopped by Fang Yuan. Don't look anymore. At the corner, Mother Shen let out a breath of relief and said to her daughter Shen Kui. Shen Kui's expression was gloomy, and she looked at Fang Yuan and Kai Zong's figures from behind until they were completely gone. Mother, did I make a wrong choice? She said. An elder could take in a wife and 2 concubines. If she had been faithful from the start, who is to say that she couldn't be Fang Yuan's concubine at this moment? I really hadn't expected this. This Fang Yuan advanced to today's stage with only AC grade aptitude. Mother Shen helplessly shook her head. Daughter, cheer up. Fang Zheng has an A grade aptitude, his accomplishments won't be any less. Yes, Shen Kui responded, and some luster emerged within her dark pupils. In this world, the status of a common mortal was so petty and low. How many things did she have that could move the great Gu master's hearts? She had already given her body to Fang Zheng, that was the gamble of her life and she couldn't turn back anymore. Chapter 159. Chapter 159, This Fang Yuan. Howl. 4 frenzy lightning wolves raised their heads and howled loudly. Pit-pat pit-pat. The rain poured from above as the curtains of water interwoved, and dark clouds roamed the sky. It caused the weather to turn dark, obstructing the vision of many. Quick, the northern gate has a breach, quickly go there, Sheng Nan group. Healing Gu Master, we have a heavily injured person here. Kill, kill, kill. Kill all these bastard wolves. The wolves' cries were countered by the Gu Masters shouting. Almost everyone was bathed in blood as they battled ferociously. Surrounding the village, battles ensued, spreading like wildfire. The people's cheers, the wolves' cries, the sound of the rain, mixed in with the sound of the wind. Uncountable number of lightning wolves rushed towards the village walls. The pitfall trap before the walls had already been flattened by a thick layer of wolf corpses, and as they were led by the numerous bold lightning wolves, the lightning wolves had a strong charging force together. Rank 1 and Rank 2 Gu Masters fought bravely on the front lines. Large amounts of moonblades flew towards the wolf packs, slaughtering numerous lightning wolves. But the wolf packs still sent out lightning currents and lightning balls towards the village, bringing injuries and fatalities to the clan. Elder Fang Yuan, this is the medicine hall's newest injury report, please take a look. A Gu master in charge of transmitting information quickly arrived, and after seeing Fang Yuan, greeted him and handed over the report with both hands. Fang Yuan was now a rank 3 Gu master, thus as a clan elder, his mission by the clan was to lead the Gu masters in suppressing the western area. Fang Yuan removed his attention from the battlefield and took the report, saying to the Gu master, you may leave. The Gu master paid his respects before taking his leave. His speed was fast, and by using Gu worm to accelerate his body, he quickly left to the next area. Any Gu master in charge of information dissemination had at least one movement assist type Gu worm, while some even had 2. Fang Yuan opened the report, taking a glance. The injury toll on the report gave a feeling of considerable shock. Until now, the wolf tide had attacked the village over 10 times. The injury and death of the clan's Gu masters was very severe. This led the clan elders to be so frantic, and the Gu master that took over the medicine hall, Gu Kai Zhang, felt even greater pressure. As a middle-aged man, he even had several white hair growing out some days ago. But Fang Yuan had his previous life's memories and was mentally prepared, thus he was not surprised. This wolf tide is one of the most severe ones in the Gu clan's history. Such injuries and death is unavoidable. He thought this in his heart, and as moonlight gathered in his palm, he reduced this report to ashes. This report, only clan elders had the authority to view it. If it was released to the masses, it would cause social instability. Despite this, the Gu clan was already in a panicky state, as the feelings of instability got stronger by the day. At this point, the moonlight in Fang Yuan's palm was no longer the eerie blue color, but of blood color. This is the rank 3 Blood Moon GU. To refine this GU, Fang Yuan had failed once, and only on his second attempt did he succeed. As for the refinement ingredients, he naturally extorted Guu Kai Lian for it. Fang Yuan closed his eyes, his mind entering into his aperture. In the aperture walls were shining and dimming at regular intervals without a single drop of impurity, it was a pure white state. His primeval essence was fully white in color, but also emitted a luster of a silver metallic glow. This is the rank 3 GU Master's white-silver primeval essence. Water gathers into a sea, in his aperture it was a white-silver primeval sea. On the surface, there was originally a black-red residue, but now it was no longer there. The cleansing water GU he forced out of Guu Kai Lian had long been used. The man-beast life burial goo's side effect was completely eliminated. But this was not without a price. Fang Yuan's aptitude lowered a little from 44% C grade. Due to the man-beast life burial GU, it dropped by 2%, to a maximum capacity of 42%. But this price, Fang Yuan was prepared for it. In fact, it was all thanks to Guu Kai Lian. If not for the cleansing water GU and letting that black-red residue corrupt the primeval essence any longer, Fang Yuan's aptitude would decrease even further. A white shell, black-spotted ladybug danced in the air above the sea. This was the sky canopy GU. The stealth scales GU with a stonefish appearance was deep inside the primeval sea. 4 flavors liquor worm was playing with the waves above the sea surface. As for the newly refined Blood Moon GU, its appearance was similar to the Moonlight GU, residing in Fang Yuan's right palm, turning into a red crescent insignia. As for the rank 3 Thunderwings GU, it resided in Fang Yuan's back as 2 lightning bolt tattoos. To be worth mentioning is the Spring-Autumn Cicada. Its condition was getting better, and was recovering quicker. This situation caused Fang Yuan to rejoice and at the same time worry. Spring-Autumn Cicada is rank 6, but he is still rank 3, and at this time his aperture is unable to hold a fully recovered Spring-Autumn Cicada. The Spring-Autumn Cicada's aura was getting stronger. Like using a paper tube to contain rocks, the aperture would not be able to handle the load. If I'm left with no choice, I can only raise it outside of my body, Fang Yuan sighed. That had great implications. Rank 6 GU worms are implicated with Tao, containing the law fragments of heaven and earth. If left outside for extended periods, it would create a resonance with the natural laws, unless the GU worm is slumbering. Otherwise the commotion would be huge, as it would cause all sorts of natural phenomena, attracting the attention and greed of other experts. But this was a solution out of necessity. Howl. At this point, a loud shrill wolf howl suddenly entered everyone's ears. Fang Yuan gathered his spirits. Lord Clan Elder, the Frenzy Lightning Wolf has entered the battle. Guu Zhongjian and 2 others elders are at the eastern gate blocking them, they hope you can go and assist, a GU master frantically reported. Crack. The sound of lightning cracked as 2 wings sprouted from Fang Yuan's back. These 2 wings were formed by blue lightning, the form abstract and simple. But with a flap, it brought Fang Yuan high into the sky, and with a fast speed, he sped towards the eastern gate. Flying in a straight line in the air, Fang Yuan got to the battlefield in a few breaths' time. The Frenzy Lightning Wolf was trying to break through the eastern gate, and a few clan elders were near the door aggressively engaging in battle. The Frenzy Lightning Wolf jumped abruptly out of the battlefield and with a swing of its tail, swept at a female rank 1 GU master at the corner. This GU master's face went pale. She could only hear the sound of the winds blowing as the wolf tail swept at her, and in her heart she screamed, "I'm doomed." With her ability, she could neither dodge nor take the hit. But at this crucial moment, a shadow descended from the sky, hugging her. The young girl felt the world spinning before her. When she finally recovered, all she saw was that she was flying in midair, while the wolf tail swept right below her. A 2-story bamboo building took the hit and was shaking violently. Her expression got dimmer. If she was hit right on by this tail, she would have turned into meat pulp. Soon after, she realized that she was saved. Who saved her? She stared at this person, and was stunned. It's him. Guu Fang Yuan. At once, the young girl's heart was filled with complexity, it was impossible to describe with words. She and Fang Yuan were classmates. Fang Yuan had formerly extorted her primeval stones, thus she hated him greatly. But she had to be amazed at his achievements, especially after news of him advancing to clan elder spread, causing her to be in shock and admiration. Compared to Fang Yuan, she was also a C-grade talent, but was now only a rank 1. Now, she was saved by Fang Yuan once. He was a true lifesaver. She was filled with gratitude towards Fang Yuan, and under her shock and admiration, her lingering hatred was also gone with this. The battlefield here is dangerous, retreat far away. Fang Yuan's wings flapped, landing on the ground and placing her down gently. He had some impression towards this young girl. They were possibly classmates, but he could not remember her name. Saying so, he turned around and left, no longer flying. Instead he sprinted, entering the battlefield. The Thunderwing's goose speed was fast, but its primeval expenditure was faster. Fang Yuan being only C-grade talent, among the rank 3 GU masters in terms of purely primeval essence storage, he is the lowest tier possible, thus he needed to conserve his primeval essence more than others. Blood Moon GU. He threw a moonblade out. The moonblade was blood red in color, and upon hitting the frenzy lightning wolf's body, it caused an injury that bled continuously. The young girl's sight remained on Fang Yuan, staring at his shadow blankly. Slowly, her eyes started to shine in a mysterious manner. 17 to 18 years of age, this is the prime of youth. This Fang Yuan, what do you think of him? Far away, Gu Yubo looked at this scene and asked a close aide. The aide replied, I heard that Elder Fang Yuan had already answered the call of the medicine hall and handed in the 9-leaf vitality grass in his possession. After getting the first payout, he gave it all to his uncle and aunt as a filial gesture. These days, he had struck personally and participated in killing lightning wolves. His aggressive and ruthless attacks have gained him much battle merits. Not only that, after saving many clansmen this time, his reputation is improving. The clan already has rumors, him turning over a new leaf, the Fang faction's new clan elder etc. This subordinate thinks that, although he is only a C-grade talent, with his impressive battle capabilities, he had gotten great opportunities. First, with his parents' inheritance, the 9-leaf vitality grass became a continuous source of income. Using 2 red steel relic GU, he managed to cultivate to rank 3, but also had an element of luck. Saying so, this close aide showed an expression of slight jealousy. He was also a C-grade talent, but was only rank 2. Getting to this stage, he spent half his life doing so. But that Fang Yuan was merely 17 years old, yet he was already a clan elder. Competing with others, is really infuriating. Hearing his aide's words, Gu Yubo nodded unnoticeably. His close aide's words represented the view of majority of the people in the clan, but was slightly shallow. Gu Yubo had been the clan leader for many years, thus he had greater foresight. Fang Yuan handing in the 9-leaf vitality grass, he had obviously struck a deal with Gu Kaizhong. Handing his payout to his aunt and uncle was not out of goodwill, but a political show. The person who spread news on this matter was Gu Kaizhong. As for saving people, whether it's true and sincere, there remains doubt. But no matter what, Fang Yuan no longer isolated himself, and his actions were indeed worthy of praise. Him advancing to clan elder and his actions thereafter, this was an initiative to get close to the clan and contribute to the clan. The clan's prosperity requires these contributions and relationships. Thinking so, Gu Yubo instructed those people in the hidden hall. These few days they also did not find anything from their investigations. Forget it, withdraw the investigations on Fang Yuan for now. Yes, this subordinate shall inform them now. Saying so, he took his leave. Gu Yubo stood on the ground, squinting. He thought in his heart, no matter what's the reason, his cultivation still rose too quickly. This Fang Yuan, he has a great secret on him. However, in this period, with the severity of the wolf tide, every bit of strength is needed, and wasting it on Fang Yuan is too wasteful. Investigation is still necessary, but this can only wait after the wolf tide. Chapter 160. Chapter 160. Astounding applause. With a bam, the frenzy lightning wolf fell on the ground like a giant elephant. It opened its mouth wide, but its eyes lost focus as life slowly exited its body. On its body, there were injuries all over. As wolf blood poured out endlessly, the environment was dyed red. The rain continued to pour as it diluted the wolf blood, and caused the blood to spread further into the ground. The ground was muddy, and some elders were standing beside the frenzy lightning wolf corpse, taking deep breaths as their bodies were drenched by the rain. They were also covered in wolf blood and mud, looking like beggars. Finally killed it. This frenzy lightning wolf actually had a defensive GU worm in its body, and was so difficult to take down. Luckily we had Elder Fang Yuan's blood moon GU accumulating injuries on it, or else it would have been even more difficult trying to kill it. When the elders said this, they looked towards Fang Yuan. Initially when they heard that Fang Yuan had refined the blood moon GU, they felt disapproving towards it. but it seems now that it was very effective in dealing with frenzy lightning wolves. I am flattered, fellow esteemed elders, if not for your assistance and protection, I would not have been able to attack so relentlessly. Fang Yuan wiped the rainwater off his face as he said politely. No, it is our duty. We are old people already. We didn't feel it before, but after fighting together with Elder Fang Yuan, we feel that we have truly aged. Indeed, the several elders laughed together. In this earlier battle, Fang Yuan had a strong grasp of when to attack and retreat. With his ruthless and savage attacks, many times his methods were even more effective than normal elders, causing the clan elders to see him in a different light. Especially with his polite and humble attitude and no sense of arrogance, he is definitely not what the rumors said, that aloof and unruly person, thus the elders had a good impression of him. I still have many aspects that need to be learned from all of you, Fang Yuan said respectfully, but his eyes shone with a dark light. The Blood Moon Jiyu had pros and cons. After using it for so many times, he had some insights about it. The Blood Moon Jiyu specialized in prolonged battles, causing unhealable injuries. As time passed, the enemy's injuries would get more and more severe. But this is established on the fact that there is no healing type Jiyu worm. Nature is balanced, there is no strongest Jiyu worm. Each Jiyu is bound to have strengths and weaknesses. Blood Moon Gu's greatest drawback is the few days of the month where it oozes blood and faces a rapid drop in battle strength. It is my main attacking method, so this makes it too unstable. But, after I get the chainsaw golden centipede in the flower wine inheritance ground, I can cover this weakness. These few days were a high alert period where the wolf tide continued to attack the village, so as a clan elder, Fang Yuan attracted even more attention than before and had no chance to go to that rock crack's secret cave. Quick, save our clansmen. Sweep the battlefield, don't miss a single Jiyu worm. Seeing the frenzy lightning wolf fall, a group of healing Jiyu masters immediately came forth. Esteemed elders, you all have exerted yourselves, please accept special treatment from our medicine hall. The leading Jiyu master bowed towards Fang Yuan and the elders. Oh, medicine faction's Li Chen. The few clan elders recognized this person, nodding and changing their expression. They were courteous to Fang Yuan, putting on a face full of smiles. But towards this person, they kept their emotions and displayed the authority of a higher-up. This is the difference in status. This Jiyu Li Chen is only a rank 2 Jiyu master. I have no injuries, I do not require treatment. Elders, let's talk again when we are free. Fang Yuan nodded to the elders. Elder Fang Yuan is so outstanding, he's not even injured from such a battle, what a true young hero. Sigh, compared to Elder Fang Yuan, we are really old. Hee, take care of yourself Elder Fang Yuan. The few elders started to laugh as they said. Elder Fang Yuan, please pardon my rudeness, but do allow our medicine hall healing Jiyu master to do a checkup for you, Jiyu Li Chen insisted. He was a member of the medicine faction, and after Fang Yuan angered Jiyu Yao Ji to the point of fainting, causing her downfall, he naturally had hatred towards Fang Yuan. But with his position and job, as the leader he cannot ignore Fang Yuan. Thanks for your goodwill, but it's fine. I'll see everyone again. Fang Yuan patted Jiyu Li Chen's shoulder, leaving with a smile. The elders smiled or nodded to reply him. Only after he left did their expression change rapidly, turning solemn. This Fang Yuan, although only C grade, had grown to this point, it is truly hard to come by. Fighting together with him, they could feel his heartlessness and ruthlessness, but when thinking about it, they felt threatened. When they were 17, did they have such achievements? Especially when they saw him smile as he patted the medicine faction member's shoulder, such talent in politics and scheming, it is truly stunning. Lord Fang Yuan, do you recognize me? Along the road, a person showed a respectful expression as he greeted Fang Yuan. You are, Fang Yuan squinted, recognizing this person as his classmate. Only that he could not remember the name, but when he extorted primeval stones from him, this person always handed them up nicely. It shows his brilliance under that meek personality. Lord Fang Yuan, I am Jiyu Dingzong. To have the fortune to be your classmate, that is my honor. Actually, after news that you had advanced to a clan elder spread, many of our classmates admired and were envious of you Lord, wanting to find an opportunity to discuss cultivation experiences with you. Are you free tonight, Lord? Jiyu Dingzong rubbed his hands, his eyes smiling into a line. Oh, is that so? Fang Yuan's eyebrows raised, nodding, okay, but let me change my clothes first, this drenched attire is making me uncomfortable. I have already prepared warm water and new clothes, and several beautiful attendants are waiting for serve you Lord. Yu Ding Zong smiled, his expression very eager. Fang Yuan shook his head to reject. No, before that, I have to go to the underground tunnel. Ah, I see. Yu Ding Zong expression changed. The underground tunnel was only accessible to the clan elders, and to people like them, it was a forbidden ground in the clan. Next, his smile became even more subservient, and his back was arched even further, as his tone carried a servant feeling. Lord, go ahead with your business, this lowly one's time is not valuable, waiting for you is also an honor of mine. Fang Yuan nodded, not speaking anymore and continued to walk away. Yu Ding Zong took a step back quickly, opening a path as he bent his back and sent Fang Yuan off with his gaze. Entering the underground cavern again. This secret room that contained precious Gu worms was very large, almost as big as the village square. But the Gu worms contained inside were not many, there was only a few dozen. Cave declaration grass, air return cicada, dried bone dragonfly, phoenix wing butterfly. There were Gu worms varying from rank 2 to 4. It was only that there was very little rank 2 Gu, and among them was a love separation Gu. This is the number 1 poison Gu among the rank 2s, and injuries caused by it cannot be healed even by a rank 3 healing Gu. This love separation is the one Wang Er owned back then. After obtaining it, the clan kept it here. The most was rank 3 Gu, while rank 4 Gu was relatively little. Fang Yuan did not have high hopes. Although the clan had some fortune, it is still a middle-sized clan and has competition with 2 other villages, as well as the pressure of the wolf tide. But to think that, he actually found a desirable Gu. Two-seed flower. This was a rank 3 grass Gu shaped like a red lantern, and had round green leaves. The leaves were thick and fat, a total of 3 pointing at 3 directions in symmetry. This two-seed flower is the same as the two-seed grass. Not only was it able to store food, but it could also store primeval stones and is one of the most ideal Gu in Fang Yuan's mind. To think that this Gu village had the two-seed flower. With it, I can cover the weakness of storage, Fang Yuan rejoiced, choosing it immediately. Actually, in the village there definitely is a rank 5 Gu. Gu clan had 2 rank 5 experts in history, they were bound to leave behind some Gu worms. Except they cannot be placed here, these rank 5 Gu are the trump cards of the village, fed by the village with all their resources. Though to say, feed, it is actually more like offerings. Fang Yuan left the tunnel. The rain had stopped but the weather was still gloomy. The air was also not fresh, as there was the smell of blood. Fang Yuan changed to a clean shirt and slowly moved towards the gathering point. Elder Fang Yuan, you are here, it is our greatest honor to have you with us. Yu Ding Zong stood at the door, staring with wide eyes. From afar he could see Fang Yuan walking across the street, and he quickly smiled and received him. He brought Fang Yuan into the bamboo building. There was already a feast prepared as many people were sitting there. On seeing Fang Yuan, they quickly got up. Soon after, all sorts of praises and flattering rushed like water towards Fang Yuan. Greetings to Lord Fang Yuan. After so long, Elder Fang Yuan's glamour is greater than ever, this lowly one truly admires you. To be Lord Fang Yuan's classmate, it is my luck from 3 lifetimes. Even thinking about it now, it feels like the experience of a dream. Fang Yuan's gaze swept across the table, seeing all his classmates, they were familiar faces, all of them people who he had extorted. My pleasure. He lightly smiled, sitting at the highest position. Serve the dishes, serve the best wine. Yu Ding Zong shouted, and the servants quickly got to work. All sorts of dishes were served, their flavors top-notch. This Yu Ding Zong's family sure had some assets. To be able to serve such dishes during the wolf tide, it showed that he really paid a big price, showing his sincerity. Elder Fang Yuan, this lowly one toasts you. Elder Fang Yuan, take your time to drink, I'll down this first. Fang Yuan was really very casual. With a cup of wine, he only took a small sip every time, but the people had no complaints towards this. After toasting almost everyone and having drunk a decent amount, he suddenly held his cup and stood up, laughing, the young are foolish, I was immature in the past and did some horrible things, I hope everyone can forgive me, and do not mind the past. Once he stood up, no one else dared to continue sitting, and all of them quickly got up. Everyone knew that the matter Fang Yuan was referring to was the primeval stone extortion. They quickly shouted, not at all, not at all. Elder Fang Yuan truly has character, a true hero. To have my primeval stones eyed by Elder Fang Yuan, that is our greatest honor. That's right, Elder Fang Yuan's glamour and heroism has always been engraved in my heart. Fang Yuan drank this cup of wine in one mouthful, as everyone cheered and clapped.